For the four-way stop. Did you hear me, Madam Clerk? Number 5 will go for. Yes. Number 6 will be on consent. Oh, no, number 5 is the second reading for a four-way stop.
Council President, what did you say?
Number 5 will go forward.
I have that.
You have it? Okay, we're ready.
So you were saying something else about number 6? Okay.
Yes, 6 is consent.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Paterson Municipal Council, I welcome you to the workshop session of March 3rd, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. The meeting is now called to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes. Roll call for the workshop session of March 3rd, 2026. Councilwoman Cotton. Councilwoman Davila.
Present.
Councilman Jackson. Councilman Kalik. Councilman Mendez.
Good evening, Paterson. Present, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Omar. Councilman Uden. Councilman Velez. Council President.
Councilman Kalik is out sick. Councilman Uden will be late. Councilman Omar is breaking fast. He will be right upstairs. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you very much. We have 5 present at this time and 4 absent.
Madam Clerk, please read the statement of compliance.
Statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law 2025-2026, March 3rd, 2026, time 6:35 p.m. Adequate notice of this meeting was compiled and disseminated in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law in the following manner. The annual notice of regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council was compiled for the year 2025-2026 on or about July 1st, 2025. A schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2025-2026 was duly transmitted on or about July 1st, 2025 to the North Jersey Herald News, The Record, The Arabic Voice, The Italian Voice, The Passaic County Pulse, Dominicana News, La Quisqueya International, El Especial, The Paterson Press, The City Post News, Tap Into Paterson, The Weekly Bangla Patrika, in addition to any other publication duly requesting such notices. The schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2025-2026 was prominently posted in the lobby of City Hall, first floor, in the place reserved for the announcements of this type. The schedule of regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2025-2026 was duly filed with the Municipal Clerk. A copy of the schedule of regular meetings of the Municipal Council was mailed to any person who requested and paid the fee authorized by the Open Public Records Act. Council President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So as stated, item number 5, which is a four-way stop, always stop control, will move forward. Item number 6 is for Liberty, was stated earlier, will go on consent. I also want to say welcome back to Councilman Velez. From your surgery, I'm happy that you're feeling better. Madam Clerk, number 7 will be on consent. Number 8 is regular. Number 9 is consent. No, consent.
Did you put the procedures on there? The procedures. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. 8 and 9 regular. Well, 7, 8, and 9 regular, Madam Clerk.
7, 8, I'm sorry.
Yes.
7, 8, and 9 are consent?
Regular.
Regular? Okay.
Yes. Councilwoman Davila.
Council President.
14, 15, 16, and 17 renewal junkyard licenses, as well as coin-operated laundry licenses.
Your mic.
Your mic is off.
Yeah.
You could repeat.
My apologies. If I may repeat again, items 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, and 21 are items that are renewal for junkyard licenses, motor vehicle junkyard licenses, renewal of coin-operated licenses for Laundry Express. If my colleagues are okay within their wards, respectful wards, if these items can all go on consent, as these are renewal licenses.
Council President,
What about 17? Mention 17?
She said
17 as well.
Consent to?
Yes,
Council President.
yes, Councilman Velez.
Thank you, Council President. Madam VP, you just stated all the items by number, but at the same time, you explained the public what is it. It will be beneficial that when we move any item to consent or regular, at least read the title, because the viewers out there, they know what we're talking about.
Okay.
Just to put on the record, because some of them will say, what is that? 10, what? And they don't have the agenda at home. At least they could listen to the title, and at least they're familiar what we move into regular or not. Just to keep it on the record and have the record
All
clear.
right, so thank you very much, Councilman Velez. Council President, if I may, as I stated, this agenda is here for anyone that would like to look at it, and for the viewers, I will quickly just say that item 10, resolution addressing renewal of motor vehicle junkyard license for Hector Stefanelli, H&A Auto Parts, 16 Bloomfield Ave in the 6th Ward. Item 11 is resolution addressing the renewal of the junkyard pocket license, John Cruz. Item 12 is resolution addressing the renewal of a motor vehicle junkyard pocket license, John Cruz. 13, resolution addressing the renewal of a junkyard license for Frank Nemeth, United Paterson Enterprises at 157 7th Street, 4th Ward. Item 14, resolution addressing renewal of a coin-operated license for MZ Ventures, LLC, known as Ziggy's Laundry Express, 202 Straight Street, 4th Ward. It just said here 4th Ward. So, okay, so is that first? Okay, so Madam Clerk, if item 14 can please be changed to indicate that it is not the 4th Ward, but the 1st.
Okay.
But just so everyone knows that it is for the laundromat to get their renewal license. Item 15 is resolution addressing renewal of a coin-operated laundry license for Bubble Bath Laundry, that's 450 Chamberlain Ave in the 1st Ward. Item 16 is resolution addressing renewal of parking lot license for Progressive Parking, that's 79-81 Prospect Street. I believe that is not the 1st Ward anymore, Councilman Jackson, that's the 5th Ward, right? Prospect Street?
Yeah, that's the 5th Ward.
It's 5th. Okay, so Madam Clerk, if you can please, through the chair, if you can please update to reflect that 79-81 Prospect Street is in the 5th Ward, not the 1st.
Thank you.
Item 17, resolution addressing renewals of coin-operated laundry licenses for the following licensees: Ann Pagano, known as Union Ave Laundry, 389 Union Ave, that's the 2nd Ward; Mark Trujillo Laundry Room 21 LLC, 21 Mill Street. That needs to reflect, Madam Clerk, that it is not the 1st Ward, but the 5th Ward.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Council President. Okay.
Item 18, I'm sorry, not that one. Item 19, resolution addressing renewal of a junkyard license for Barbara Barnes for a pocket license. Item 20 is a resolution addressing the renewal of florist licenses for the following licensees: Archangel Flowers, LLC, 521 21st Ave in the 6th Ward; Home Depot, number 0959, 75 McLean Boulevard, 3rd Ward; Union 5 and 10 Inc., 392 Union Ave, 2nd Ward. And item 21, resolution addressing renewal of a coin-operated laundry license for Hodhood Corp., known as Lily's Laundromat, 300 Park Ave in the 5th Ward. So, Madam President, if items 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, and 20, and 21, if they can please go on consent, if my colleagues agree to that.
Yes, consent, Madam Clerk.
Council President.
Councilman Velez, and then Councilwoman Cotton.
Yeah, Council President. And it looks like, it's not correct in the records because there's a lot of public viewers that do not know was 10, was 11. So it's
That's
not just
fine.
challenges. So just to keep the
That's fine.
record clear, it's fine to read at least the title. Thank you,
That's
Council
fine.
President and Council IP.
You're welcome. Councilwoman Cotton?
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Council President. Madam Clerk, number 13, that's 157 7th Street, so that is the 4th Ward. I think it's East 7th Street.
I'm sorry,
That is the 4th.
It's the fourth ward.
It is the 4th.
number 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the fourth
That's not
ward.
the one that we asked to correct.
Or which one you,
No,
it
we
was,
did-
it was
you
number
did.
14.
No, number 14 is 202 Straight Street.
Right.
You said that's...
No, initially, Councilwoman Cotton thought it was first, but she's correcting to say that it should be fourth.
Which one?
No,
The one you're saying.
Yeah, it should be 4th.
It should be fourth.
13
Right.
is fourth.
Right.
Number 14, which
Is
is the
first.
one on Straight Street,
It's first.
it's first, and that's what she was correcting. It's not fourth.
Yeah, it's
So that's
fourth.
the correction.
Yes,
Okay.
that's fine.
Thank you, Council President.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, number
Okay. It's here.
18,
I'm sorry.
item number 18 is regular, Madam
Regular,
Clerk.
okay. You said you didn't see the Bunker Hill in it.
Health and Human Services, items 21 through 20,
Here.
items 22 through 24.
You don't have it in it? I have it. Okay, it's right here.
Health and Human Services Chair,
Should be-
Councilman Omar,
I'm sorry.
items 22 through 24.
Good evening, council. I have items 22, which is the resolution authorizing the shared services between the towns of Bloomingdale, Clifton, Passaic, Ringwood, Wayne, and the county of Passaic for TB services. It's a renewal of the yearly contract where we provide services at our TB clinic. The item number 23 is the resolution authorizing an award of contract for St. Joseph's Hospital, which, yes, sir. Tuberculosis. So, at the Board of Health, 176 Broadway.
So, I mean, I'm just outlining because the way you described it, it made it appear as if we have an individualized clinic specifically driven for TB.
Yes, we do. We have a tuberculosis clinic within the Board of Health.
But it's within the facility of the Board of Health.
Correct.
The same facility that had to be vacated multiple times this past month because there was no heat. If it's a separate facility,
It's
then
within
this-
the same building, Councilman.
Okay, so what I'm getting at is, okay, so here we are. We are taking on responsibilities to render services for surrounding communities. And again, I didn't say, I can't say again because I haven't outlined this yet. I'm not pointing the finger at you per se. I mean, you're not responsible, well, even though it is your facility, we should be making sure that we are capable of providing ongoing, uninterrupted services, that our employees that are being asked to render these services are working under feasible conditions. So we had to vacate the facility, our TB facility, for multiple days this past month because of due to these weather conditions, and of which the same facilities are TB facilities that we're going to have to potentially vacate in the summer because we don't have adequate air conditioning facilities there as well. So just as an outline for this, how much is the is the grant for this thing here that we?
So we do have a grant, but this shared services, we're actually entering into it so we can charge these towns for the services. In the past, we did not have this agreement, so we still have to service them because we are receiving a state grant. This allows us to actually bill the County of Passaic for the residents of the towns that they serve as their health officer and the other towns that I mentioned, because their residents do come here. In the past, we weren't charging them. This is the second year that we're actually doing this.
So we weren't charging them. So does that mean we don't charge our own residents for the same services?
It's a free service to our
It's a free
residents. We have a
service.
grant through the state.
Okay. But although we're receiving the grant, we're looking to charge surrounding communities that are.
We have
that
the
we're-
ability to do so, yes.
Okay.
So we recuperate part of the monies for the things that you've just mentioned, the salary of our staff, the materials used,
So who exactly are we charging?
the township.
So we're gonna send a bill to the township.
Yes. and they
Okay,
have
so-
been
so
paying us.
We're not charging the individuals, we're going to charge the
Correct.
municipalities. Okay.
Correct, because by law, they have to have a contract that has those services provided.
So prior to the vote on this, I would like to get a report on what we've done last year, because I'm not sure if it's the specific service, but it has been brought to my attention that other services that we render and make available to other communities, once we reach a certain number, which was a very small number in my opinion, let's say 7 or 8 clients, that the staff was refusing to take on additional clients. I'll get more details on this because I definitely have some information on that. But what I'm concerned about is, are we continuously running equitable treatment and services to our residents, or are they being turned away and saying, no, we reach capacity for the day?
Nobody gets turned away for TB services. We're required by law to provide those services.
I'll get the details on that, because
Yes,
I definitely
I'd appreciate it if
know-
you can email that to me,
Yeah.
please. Thank you.
And I would like a full report on what we've done in the past year.
Number of
Relative-
individuals served?
Individuals served, from which municipality, which services paid for, services that have been waiting to be paid, et cetera.
Okay.
Council
Thank you.
President.
Councilman Mendez?
Thank you. Director, you mentioned that this is the second year that we're charging?
Yes.
Regular.
The second year, okay. So I would
In the
like to know,
past, we were servicing them because we have to, but we weren't billing the municipalities, and we're absolutely able to bill. So in conversation with our health officer, we reached out to legal, and we put this in place so that we can recuperate some of these monies.
all right, correct. So if you could, Director, before the next meeting, if you could give us the revenue that we received from last year from this program and the neighboring town that we're serving. So if you could include that on the report for the entire council. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. This item will be on regular. Item
Council-
23,
Director,
Council President.
Councilman Velez and Councilwoman Cotton.
Director, I know that, thank you. I know that this is not probably was under your leadership in the Human Resources, Human Services Department,
Surgery in his eyes or something?
but
Surgery in his eyes or something?
the Board of Health invested almost $700,000 in a mobile unit that we did a grand opening. It looks beautiful when that time, but what's the status of that mobile unit? Probably has 0 miles as we speak, but what's the status? What we going to use it? How we could use it?
We still do have the mobile unit. Today, I had a conversation with the health officer. If you recall, about a year ago, there was an incident of vandalism. Not only was the mobile unit vandalized, but also some DPW vehicles. So we're in the process of getting those repairs done. And then we'll have a conversation with the BA about the original arrangement of who was going to drive the mobile unit. So those conversations are ongoing.
Correct. It would be if nothing's going to be done through the Board of Health, any other programs, see how even a police could utilize it as a mobile police station, that it could put that in the street, like to
It's
serve.
designed to be a clinic.
If you know, to look at the positive way to use them, if you're not going to use them moving forward, to see if PD could even use it as a police mobile unit to place it in different hospital area that it could operate from there. It would be just an idea.
Okay.
But if you could move it forward for Board of Health, amen. But if not, other division could be using it for deter crimes and use it as a operational unit for different wards. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Cotton.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to say to Director Ramirez, with this TB, this is not, people are coming there not with TB. They're coming there because their job might require them to get a TB test. I know I sent you several people who needed to go into a shelter, but they would not let them in unless they had a TB test. So to me, this is not about people with TB. This is checking, because some places are not letting you come in until you can prove that you're okay. And with this here, I just want to make it kind of clear that this is what this does too, For those that got to get a job, and instead of having to go to a doctor and pay for a TB test, they can go to the Paterson Health Department. Thank you, Council
Thank you.
President.
Item is on regular, Madam Clerk.
I'm sorry, Council President?
Councilman
One more
Jackson is
time,
on
please.
regular, Madam Clerk.
Director, just for a point of clarity, is there any specific reason why this particular service and these particular municipalities, like why these municipalities? I mean, what it seems is that if we're rendering a service, and let's say, who I don't think I saw on the list, Wayne or some other Prospect Park. So if those residents come in, we're not going to bill those unless they're on this specific shared service agreements list?
Council President.
Director.
So the towns that you mentioned are under this share services because they contract with the County of Passaic for health officer services, so they would be under Passaic County. So we bill Passaic County has a contract with them, but they pay us.
Okay, so so these other municipalities are outside of Passaic County?
No, so
West Milford, Woodland Park? I mean,
those are the towns that contract with the county. So that's why our share services is with the County of Passaic. The County of Passaic covers those towns that you just mentioned.
Okay, so, all right, so let me redirect now. So basically, we're not, because my initial question was, were we going to bill those municipalities? You said yes.
Yes.
So we're not billing the municipalities, we're going to bill the county.
For the towns
For
that the county covers.
Okay,
So like Bloomingdale, Clifton, Passaic, Ringwood, and Wayne, they have their own contracts. The County of Passaic covers other towns, which are listed in the back of the resolution. If you give me a second. The County of Passaic has Haledon, Prospect Park, Wanacue, West Milford, and Woodland Park.
so the county's only allotting specifically certain municipalities that they're willing to cover?
They're covering the towns that have a contract with them for health officers.
Okay.
So they're required to have a health officer.
I
But
understand.
because they can't afford to have their own, they contract with the county covers them. And because the county can't do this type of work, then the county,
No, I
hired
understand. They outsource it to us, and we allegedly or
We provide the services.
presumptively have the capacity, right? But, so for those municipalities that the county does not have, that don't fit into that criteria, we're now solidifying an outside, this is going to be a separate agreement with those specific
So
municipalities?
I think I understand what you're saying. So the towns in Passaic County that are not part of this, they have their own health officer, they have their own contract.
But
either
they
with a
don't
hospital-
but they don't offer TB services.
They may through a contract with another town or a hospital. So these are the people that don't have their own contracts with other places who want to contract with us or who contracted with the county and the county then contracted with us. But all the other towns in Passaic County are required by law to have this type of agreement. It just doesn't have to be with us. It could be with anybody else.
Okay, so I'm getting at another question. What I'm trying to find out
Yes.
is specifically within this particular service, right? We have an agreement with the county, which you're saying these specific municipalities are already covered because they don't have a health officer. So we are their designated location for these specific
For that
kinds of
service.
services, for
Yes.
this specific service. All
Yes.
right. Now, for those who do have a health officer and yet still having a complication with rendering TB services, they can come here, but we will then turn around and bill them.
We could, but we have not had any cases outside of these towns come to us in
Okay.
Passaic County.
All right, so these are only, then, you're being, so now we're going to specifically say, these will only include those municipalities that do have the said agreement with the county. So we're not billing the municipalities, we're billing the county.
We're billing the county for the towns that I read off as covered by the county, and then the other towns who have their own agreement with us, but anyone
We'll bill them
outside of that, we don't see anyone from any of those other towns.
All right, so now, here's my question, what I'm trying to figure out. for other services that we are forced to render, life support services such as Narcan, or repeated aid services for non-residents, right, who have, I mean, what I'm getting at is, how is it specifically for this particular service? We render lots of services. Our fire department, which there should be some type of understanding between the health officer, especially we should have reports on how many victims we're providing Narcan. I'm gonna just use Narcan for an example. We spend a great deal of money every year on Narcan, right? So why can't we bill other municipalities for these other services that we're, let's say if it's for, you know, we have a grant specifically outlined for HIV services, and someone from outside of our community, and we you know, render those services to them.
So for those services, we have federal grants, and we cover Passaic and Bergen County.
For
We receive
Narcan?
No,
For Narcan?
for HIV services.
Okay, well, I use it as an example, but I mean,
Narcan,
there's,
that's held under the police, which is the alternative strategies to policing. Tanae Joyner can get you that information. I can have her see if she can provide you that.
well, I mean, more so than the data on how much production you're having relative to recovery, services that we're rendering that should, it falls under public health. If you have someone that's in, you know, in need of life-saving, you know, services, and we're continuously rendering them, we know that there's presumptive, it's not even presumptive, we understand that municipalities are dropping off their people that have these drug addictive ailments to our community that we're forced to deal with. Is there a way, and then maybe, you know, through legal we can figure that out. My question is, why TB services? Is it because specifically we have an agreement with the county? Because even though we have an agreement with the county, we're saying, okay, we have this agreement with the county, but those of you that do not fit into that criteria, we're going to bill you directly. Why are we billing for all of the other services that we're fulfilling?
So, and I think that's a conversation that we could have a little bit more extended conversation and maybe meet with our health officer, because we get grants from federal and state where we're mandated to take care of anyone that comes in for those services. Now, I guarantee you, people are not coming to Paterson for those services. They're not coming from Bergen County for those services.
For which services?
For STD services. People aren't coming here to get STD tested at our Board of Health, but we offer it. And if somebody walks in, we have to provide it.
There was just a young man that lost his life that was hit with a hammer in a homeless encampment, right?
Yeah.
The majority of the people that are living within the homeless encampments, they are not Paterson bona fide residents.
Correct.
Your office should have inventory on all of these individuals that are living here, and therefore there should be some sort of services, even from the standpoint of inventory, even from the standpoint of, you know, our feeding them through food banking and things of that nature. These are services, right, that Paterson residents are being reduced from because we're servicing other communities' situations. So my point is, listen, if there's a creative measure to where we're billing you for a service such as TB, right? There's an enormous amount of services. I mean, yeah, maybe someone may not come here specifically to be tested for an STD, but we definitely know that there is contact amongst these individuals from outside the community. Now, a bona fide resident has to then come in there and get services. So contact from a drug, you know, related contact situation can result in additional expenditures that the city's taking on. So my point is, these individuals that we talk about this all the time, if we can't figure out ways to be creative to say, okay, Ocean County, you sent us 13 individuals in 2025, and we spent X, Y, and Z. We want to now be able to render, you know, costs for bill for cost of services rendered. I don't know if it's, listen, maybe it's a little bit above what our focus is, but I think that I drive past on all these encampments on the riverside, right? And is there a report from your office on what we're doing, the individuals that are there? You know, we just lost somebody lost a life there. It was a Paterson resident that got hit in the head with a hammer. So these are the circumstances that we're dealing with, right? And maybe not yours, but the health officer should at least have a fingerprint on.
Unfortunately, Council President, unfortunately, that doesn't fall into the mold of public health. That doesn't fall into the scope of the health officer's job. Homelessness has nothing to do with public health.
Wait, hold on. So individuals who are severely addicted to drugs, who are defecating, urinating in the public water systems, doesn't fall. Individuals that are taking food from food pantries, taking food down into those areas where then rat infestations continuously, begin to populate. That's not a public health concern.
Homelessness is not a responsibility of the public health officer.
So why are you on? I've seen you many times on Route 19 and over there.
I get involved because
I've seen you there vacating people who have encampments on the highway. But we're not doing that on the side of the river.
When a complaint comes in, I go out and assist, and I connect people, and I use the county resources, and I call state resources, and I call nonprofits. But if you look through my budget, I have $0 allocated to anything homelessness. I have $0 allocated to any staff to deal with homelessness.
Yeah, but Director,
I do it because, the work has to get done. We got to try to do what we can.
No. I'll say this, and listen, I apologize in advance because when there's a blemish on the mayor, because in the main vein of the city, the entrance, I've seen you there very consistently. There's encampments all over the riverbank that people are living in, in deplorable conditions. If that is not a matter of public health, then we need new glasses. Our focus is not in place. If individuals from our community, specifically young people that got to go to school at School 28, School 4, have to walk past people who are severely overdosing of drugs and people that are defecating on the side of the river and things of that nature. And you talk about your budget, I understand your budget is extremely, it's being burdened. But to my point, if we can figure out creative ways to look at these things, and if we're not taking them to account, in fact, Mr. Gilmore brought up a phenomenal point the other day that he's been screaming for quite some time. We still don't have a heat map of the city, of where those individuals, those 600 plus individuals who lost their lives during COVID, where in the city are they located? That's a public health concern because in those areas we have overcrowding. So not that it's not irrelevant to TB, but just the method in which we're going about recovering the funding. We're spending a great deal of money on taking care of other people's issues. Your office, along with, I already know the mayor's office it's not a concern, but we should be looking to recover some of this money that we're spending. And if we're not spending money there, we should be, because those individuals are having a traumatic impact on our community. But listen, that's me. I look at things differently.
Council President. Council President.
I'm sorry, the item is going on by
Council President.
The item has already been allocated for regular.
Council President.
Council President.
Councilman Mendez and then Velez.
And I'll be brief, and Director, understanding that in your budget you don't have a line item dedicated for homeless, but the reality that we're facing in Paterson is that most of the homeless that we have, like 90% of the homeless that we have up there, they're not from Paterson. And the reason why they come into Paterson is because we're providing services that they don't find in those towns where they live. And at the same time, they come here and we allow them to panhandle and do other things. But at the same time, we're spending a lot of resources. And the reason why I'm asking you that, I would like to see the number, the budget, how much money we received last year, is to see how beneficial those programs are. Because sometimes we receive some grant, but we got to see how much money, the effort that we're putting in, the manpower, the staff, and everything. So we got to see how beneficial it is to getting into a share a services agreement with all the towns, and see what are we getting, because that's our fear. And once they hear, Director, you and I know that they become our problem. They become our problem. Police and ambulance, we got the whole 9 yard, and we got to deal with them. And they're not from Paterson, so we have to collectively, not only for this program, I'm talking about in general, what type of service are we providing? The shared services agreement that we have with all the town, we got to see how effective it is, and if it's not good for us, we got to start putting an end to that. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Velez, and then we're moving on to item 23. Please stick to the topic.
Thank
that
you,
we're discussing.
thank you, Council President. Director, first of all, let me say thank you. Thank you because I witnessed when they call your office and you come out to assist with resources to those individuals that are looking for resources in those encampment for homeless. They are there. You know, we cannot disregard the hard work, even without money, you've been doing and your staff have been doing, and the referral that you get from there to your office to make sure the county also is accountable and responsible. So I had to acknowledge that. So, you know, we need to demand more to the county. We are the county seat. Everybody knows that the county has 60 municipalities. If the county start doing satellite office in different part of the county, it probably alleviate how this resource, everybody look for resource in Paterson. So, but that's a conversation we could have with the county and put their tax dollar on work. I was looking here that we have 14 municipalities that we're going to serve or had the agreement with us. Who are the other two that is not in the list? No, hold on. Let me elaborate. Let me elaborate because this is going what I want to. In your list, you got 14 municipalities. We got 60 municipalities in Passaic County. Or which are the two that do not need this kind of service?
I would have to look at our list.
Okay.
I don't have that in front of me.
Now, we have 60 municipalities. Based on this price, this fee or whatever, did we have done a comparison with, like Hudson County is a county seat for other municipality in Hudson County. Essex County is a county seat for other municipality in Essex County, and also Bergen County, because they're close to us, to see if they charging close or more of what we charging in the MOU. For example, if we are the third largest city in the state of New Jersey, and we sit in 60 municipalities, and the service based on the data you have is well being expended, if the money that is reflecting here for those municipalities is fair enough, and other city that are county seat that use the same service because they don't have a health officer, if they are comparison with this price. If they are not, we should put it to that standard of the same level or meet the same level of money for we could have the fair share of those municipalities. A comparison,
Right.
How much Essex County and Newark is charging, if Newark is the one doing it, and Hudson County, if it's Union City or whatever, Jersey City,
Thank
you know,
you.
things
Thank
like that. Just to be fair, because when we go to apply other things in the council, we always say, can you look what Newark is doing with this? Can you look in Essex County what the Hudson County is doing? And then we bring up, Council President, why you, this is a workshop. I know they're not viewing you when you're making your movement of hands, but this is a workshop, and I'm bringing a valid request. Compare these fees with other municipality. If they doing the same thing, if we are low, we could move a little bit higher and get a fair share of money back with the service that we are giving through the grants.
Right. Thank you,
Thank you,
Councilman.
Council President.
And for the record, I was talking to Councilman Mendez, not you. So I don't know what you're talking about hand.
Well, I got dark glasses. I can see you looking at me.
So I'll take the apology at any point.
Okay.
Item
Thank
23, Director.
It is our annual renewal with St. Joseph's Hospital for STD medical services.
Okay, gotcha.
This can go on consent, Madam Clerk. Item 24.
It is our renewal of RDE systems for the proprietary software that the Ryan White Council uses for outcome measurements.
I'm glad we're continuing to do this. We didn't have this in place before. It helps us with the grant funding. Madam Clerk, this can go on consent.
Regular 23 and 24.
Regular. Our Director of Public Works, please. 23 and 24, regular. In the meantime, the two clerk items, item 33 and 37, can go on consent from the clerk's office. 33 and 37, clerk's office items. 33 and 37. Director? 33 and 37. Oh, yeah, those as well. These are all clerk items, Madam Clerk, for your items consent, yes. Director, items 25 through 27.
25 is a contract for Continental Hardware. That's where we get our lumber from for board ups and work like that, all our wood.
This is the purchase of lumber, installation, and hardware. Council members? Consent?
Consent.
Consent. Item 26, Director?
This is a monitoring well. These are run-of-the-mills monitoring well between the city and the
Consent.
clerk.
Consent.
Consent.
Authorizing site oh, this is normal.
Yeah.
Item 26?
Which well is this one? What are you talking about?
The address, these are
Item
monitoring wells.
26.
I'm sorry?
Hold on, you need the address? East 11th Street and Fifth Ave. Yes.
That's Bunker Hill.
And they said yes.
What the, what's, just the whole details of the project, Director?
These monitoring wells are for when they're going to do construction, anything that's going to be breaking ground. They got to monitor the dirt, the air quality. Anywhere there's going to be construction, there's a monitoring well before. We do monitoring well resolutions multiple times a year.
Multiple times a year?
Yes.
And for this specific location, is for a specific project?
No, for any project that comes up in the city of Paterson, a monitoring well is done.
Okay. All right, I'm good for right now. Let me read details.
Item 27, consent, Madam Clerk. Item 27.
27 is for water contract to J&J Electrical Construction Design for electrical work for the city of Paterson.
I gotta read it.
Electrical work and
Electrical,
installation.
yes.
Council members, also, we want to put on the record, Councilwoman Cotton is the chair of DPW, and they did have a
Yes.
committee meeting. Consent, council members?
Consent.
Consent. This is for
Regular.
regular for item 27.
Thank you, council.
Thank you, Director. Madam Clerk, let's go to item number 38.
38.
Council President,
Council President.
Yes.
I'd like to speak first. I asked
Councilwoman
you first.
Davila, and then Councilman Mendez.
Okay,
And
so
Velez.
I do not believe that we should be doing resolutions, like feel-good resolutions that mean absolutely nothing, but just to say that you did something when it's really not doing anything. Item 38 is a resolution supporting, saying I support reimbursement of towing charges that were imposed during the recent snow emergency, and it's sponsored by Councilman Mendez.
Yes.
The issue that I have, that we cannot, once an officer has issued a ticket, you just can't say, do away with it. You gotta go through the process of going to the court, and then from there, they can settle it. The fact that we're doing a resolution saying we support it, it's like, This is just a feel-good resolution. So I'm not in support, and I don't believe we should be moving forward with this item. That's
Council
all I wanted to
President.
say.
Council President.
Councilman Velez, and then Councilman Mendez.
So, you know, let me be, I was not in the chambers when Councilman Mendez proposed this. I know emotions sometimes are on the roof, and emotions sometimes you say things that probably in the reality it cannot be. But if I read the whereas itself contradicts the purpose of the resolution. All right? So for example, the whereas says, number 2, whereas public notice were issued directing the removal of vehicles from certain public streets and specific hours from January 1st, February 2nd, and February 4th. That will kill the resolution because a proper notice was posted. Second, there is something that we cannot get involved. And I think when we took off office, we are the legislative body of the city of Paterson. There's a judiciary body in the city of Paterson. It's the courts. Police is part of that. And there's administration part of that. So it's different branches. So I know that Councilwoman Davila said a feel-good resolution. You know, I think it would be better here, a resolution that, and I know people are going to laugh, resolution supporting that going to reimburse from my pocket the people that spend money in towing the car. That is a real resolution. But let's be honest, we cannot do this. There's a system in place that people could challenge any ticket given in that particular moment. Anything. They go to court. If they get dismissed, and it's fair enough, they could come to the second floor and submit an application for a reimbursement of that towing.
Council President.
And if it's proved that it was a wrongdoing or it was not justified
Yes.
to do that. Meanwhile, the second whereas speak loud and clear that whatever happened on that day or those days was suitable to do. So saying that, I just want to say that if you want to put it on the committee, we could discuss it, and then we could come back with another type of other feel-good resolution.
Thank you.
Council President.
Councilman Mendez, and then Councilman Udine.
Thank you, Council President. And definitely, if this is the second whereas, it doesn't kill the resolution. You could read the entire body of the resolution. And let me speak about exactly what happening, something that never happened before in the history of the city. When the storm happened, the amount of cars, the city started towing hundreds of cars. I'm speaking. I think I got the floor. I allow everybody on my council colleague to speak. This is the level of disrespect that we're getting here. So I was patiently. So let me speak now. So a lot of people the city started towing cars left and right without a clear plan. And before there was no option for residents to where to park the car. They started towing cars left and right. After we started criticizing the administration, after the fact they came out with a choice, or you could park here, you could park there. Listen, we have people in the city that they are one paycheck away from being homeless. One paycheck from being homeless. A lot of people, there was no sign in some of the area. There was not a clear plan. There was not a clear plan, and we used the storm. We used this snowstorm to attack and hit the most vulnerable people in our community. The most vulnerable people. There was not a clear plan. They started removing the snow left and right from one place to another one. People, there was a lot of confusion. I went to places that there was no sign, and they started towing people's car there, and they never pick up the snow. There was a lot of back and forth, and people are coming here. This legislation is signed by legal, it's been reviewed by legal, it's totally legal, and we got to put some compassion in our residents. People are suffering in this community. I never see what happened. There was hundreds of people that the car got torn. You know, hundreds of people. So if you're not in favor, you vote no. So that resolution is in the floor. As a councilman, I have all the right to put a legislation on the floor. It's a legal legislation, and you just vote against. Some people are going to vote, they will vote against, they will vote in support. But I'm going to be totally clear. This administration never had a plan for that storm, and they knew it way before. A plan, an effective plan is explaining the resident of the city how we're going to do the street cleaning, how we're going to pick up the snow before the storm. And let me be clear, what will be a perfect plan? Press conference before the storm. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna clean this section, this section, this section. Place to park is gonna be here. That's what I'm talking about, effective plan. We're gonna replace the street cleaning to pick up, remove snow. Every street in Paterson become one way. This is how we're gonna do it. Explaining the city, step by step, how we're gonna produce, how we're gonna clean the city. That never happened. Never happened. We start removing snow from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. A lot of people work 2 and 3 shifts here. People, they go home at 8, 9 o'clock. They don't see those signs. The plan never worked. We failed, and we failed the resident of the city of Paterson. And we have a lot of people struggling. $400 is a big difference. And let's not get it twisted. I'm not talking about the violation. I'm not talking about the ticket. I'm talking about the amount of money that people pay to take the car out. I know a few people that they never took the car out because they didn't have the money on. We have a lot of people struggling in the city. We have people making $15, $17 an hour, and they have to pay $2,000, $2,500 for an apartment. A lot of people lost their car. They couldn't take it out. That's what I'm talking about in this legislation. That's what I'm talking about.
Council President.
Wait,
Whether you say yes or you say no,
We have a few before you, Councilman Velez. Councilman Udine, Councilman Jackson, and then I will speak.
All right, yeah.
Councilman Udine?
Thank you, Council President. Councilman Mendez, I totally respect whatever you put into it, but I'm trying to make it sense that where are we heading to? So I'm talking about my personal experience first and see how I feel. And so before even the snow situation happened, one time there was a car was towed mistakenly for whatever situation happened by the citywide from Union Avenue. I sent the individual to Corporation Council. Corporation Council gave the person a form to fill out, and they found out that that was a mistake, so money was reimbursed. So there is a system in place already. That's one thing I want to tell you from my experience. Second experience I want to mention about when the Totowa Avenue cleanup was taking place, special operation. I was there with the police officers about 2 hours before cleanup starts. They were honking horns, knocking doors to make sure that people remove their cars. There were about 5 cars. They were parked from the first snow until the second one, I would say about the second, third day, fourth day. Nobody even cleaning their own car. Isn't it responsibility of the residents to clean up their car, remove it? A city cannot move forward with just the help or seriousness of the government bodies. A city moves forward when we all come together, even the community members. When we're putting a resolution like this, are we encouraging people to break laws? Are we encouraging people to disregard any signs on the street? Where are we heading to? It sounds great that if we can help those people. I'm 100% onto it. If anybody's car was towed by mistake, illegally, or there was no sign, of course, I'm 100% for it. 100% for it. But someone was lazy, was relaxing at home, was not cleaning their own cars, and we are encouraging them to continue doing such, I'm not for it. Again, I believe that we all have some responsibility to take care of this city. As an elected official, we do have duties, of course. But as a resident, we all have should have the feeling that this is my home. Cleaning up of my front yard, backyard is my responsibility. Cleaning up of my own car is my responsibility. We all have to create that sense. We have to have this sense, Councilman. I do respect you can move forward if you want to. I mean, I'm not saying just stop it here, but I don't think we should support or encourage certain things to happen. Multiple occasions, and you know about cleanliness situation, and I'm fighting for it. And especially, I'm still talking about bulk pickup situation. We need to talk about it. We need regular bulk pickups. That's 100% I'm for it. But when someone is driving, and I'm talking about the very recently, even last week I was driving, someone was throwing trash from their car. Should we encourage them to continue doing this? We have to make sure that make everyone accountable. Everyone. So, Councilman, I respect, I love your intention, but there is a system already in place. If anybody feel that that was a mistake, that was wrong, they can come to the Corporation Council, the second floor, they can fill out the form. If they're right, they'll get their money back. But randomly give everyone's money back, I don't think this is a right decision. Clean up. Think about another situation. We're talking about the snow. Snow already melted. Snow's gone. Regular cleanup, street cleanup. Cars parked in the street, people don't remove their car because you know that there was no inspectors at the time to issue tickets. So what happened? People did not even remove their car. I understand this is our fault because we have to enforce that. But at the same time, people need to understand that this is the cleanup time. We need to remove our car to make sure that cleanup takes place properly and efficiently.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Councilman Jackson, and then Councilman Velez, and then Councilman Mendez.
Are we going to continue on back? Because I need to.
No, this will be it. After, I'll make a final comment, and then we'll move on to public portion.
So, first of all, Councilman Udine, you're gonna have to make up your mind. Like, are you here to support the residents, or are you here to hold the residents accountable for being lazy? Like, you had almost 2 feet of snow falling. I doubt people were sitting inside saying, you know what, I'm just being lazy. There was no clear coordination or communication. Just because you was knocking on doors on Totowa Avenue doesn't mean you understand what goes on Main Street, doesn't mean you understand what goes on Market Street. Main Street, you're not knocking on what doors? You going up into every single building? When the young lady Jalen was out there doing a video in a building that has over 150 units, where did you go inside a building with 150 units knocking on every single door? Did you witness police officers going in every single unit knocking on every single door? No, you did not. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. So the mere fact that you would sit here and say that we can't support laziness of residents, what does throwing trash out the window have to do with a single mother who has children to feed, whose car is being towed because it was illegally targeted? Now, here's the issue. I mean, I have some issues with this piece of legislation as well, but to sit there and call residents lazy and say that they're non-deserving of a refund, because they were too lazy to go out and move their car. I mean, did you not say that? I mean, it's on videotape. Did you not say that? Was that not your words?
Generalize like how you're saying.
That wasn't your words? You said residents is being lazy, so residents don't deserve to, I mean, I guess shrinking a handicap parking space from 18 feet to 14 feet, if it to 12 feet or whatever, is a more notable effort than making sure the hundreds of residents that got their cars towed, the hundreds of residents, just based on $300 per car, just in one single day alone, you think that it's not worthy of this council addressing. That's a concern. That's a concern. And it should be a concern to all of those looking forward to support him in this upcoming election when he's referencing people being lazy as opposed to people being illegally targeted. What's up, Director? Now, here's my bigger question and concern. Councilman Mendez, who wrote this document?
Wait a second.
Why can't he respond? I asked him a question.
Because
like
there's 4 people before him. He can respond after
Simple
the
question.
other.
Who wrote the
I can
document?
respond.
No. There's 4 people that asked for the floor before him.
I don't need a whole long sentence. Did you write this document?
I'll get back to you.
He's asking you to say yes or no. He said he'll wait.
I know you didn't
Yeah,
write the
all right,
document.
Council President, so let me allow to respond. I've been requesting and
Okay,
demanding
so-
this piece of legislation for how long? Listen,
I didn't
what-
ask how long have you been
No.
requesting to see.
Listen.
That's, you gotta
Listen,
comprehend the
I
question.
sit down with legal,
It's a- So who wrote the document? Did you write it?
The legal department.
Okay, very good. So the mayor and his office and the legal department wrote the document. And that's why Councilman Velez, who doesn't have a very high level of
He said for your education.
no, I'm not, I mean, whatever your education is, we know you didn't graduate from high school, but that's not the point. The point is that you were even capable of understanding the fact that legal ran a circle around the councilman because he didn't even understand the piece of legislation that you allowed them to put your name on. For it to say, whereas the public notice were issued, you should have had an immediate problem with that because although public notices may have been issued, were they issued with a substantial amount of time? Because there is a time requirement based on law on how these notices are supposed to be put out. But because you're incapable of writing your own legislation, you had to lean on legal to write it for you, then you allowed them to put your name on it, they ran a circle around you. The third whereas the towing of vehicles by the private contractor under contract with the city of Paterson resulted in the imposition of towing fees unauthorized by the Paterson Code. So basically, the third whereas is where the real problem is, because what legal did, they wrote in the third whereas where it says the towing of vehicles by the private contractor that was contracted by the city. That's letting you know it was authorized because it's a private contractor that was contracted by the city, and then it goes on to say towing fees authorized by the city. So when this piece of legislation is going to be presented and they go before a judge and the judge reads this and says, these fees were authorized by you, a city representative, the member of the body that has equal power of the administration. You allowed them to put your name on this.
All right.
Did you
Council
sign
President.
this thing? No, he didn't sign it as of yet.
Council President.
But they just ran circles around you, and you allowed them to put your name on this that gives no authority or no justification for a reimbursement on any of the tow.
Council President.
What you should have outlined, you should have specifically made sure that it was outlined that there was not significant notice that was presented, because that's really the underlying factor. The city has the right, and Councilman Udine, you should pay attention here too, because whatever it was you rambled off on, you have no idea what was happening. This is a class session. You should be learning. So what this is showing is that the city's authorized to do so. What you had to do, sir, was prove why this action was unjustified. And it was unjustified because there wasn't proper notice. Councilman Udine then goes on to say he validates the administration's point and says that residents were lazy. So when a resident goes to take this before a judge, and Corporation Counsel then takes this document, and whoever's serving this as a prosecutor is going to pull up the footage of a sitting councilman saying that the residents that had their vehicles towed was towed because they were lazy.
Council
I
President,
mean, just be patient, man. I mean, I know you over there squirming in your seat. What we could do is talk about how we could correct this document. And if you need to, Councilman Mendez, you could come sit with me,
No, I
because
don't.
I don't sit with them.
I don't.
I write my own legislation.
I don't. I'm good.
I make sure
I'm
I
good.
do the research myself.
I'm good.
I don't rely on people to tell me, hey, this is good. This is legal.
I'm good.
What's legal about this?
Council President.
Can you, when you speak again, go line by line and talk about how the authority of this document is going to empower a resident to get a refund.
Council
Talk
President.
about, go line by line and explain how the authority of this document, this piece of legislation that you wish for us to support, because I'll second it for you. Like, if you could prove how it's going to empower the resident to get a refund, I mean,
Council President.
Council President, I got the floor.
listen, reading is fundamental, but comprehension is essential. You didn't comprehend what they wrote, transcribed for you, and that's embarrassing. Because this is a one-page document. It's very simple. You could have put this, you could have did a Councilman Velez. You could have put this through ChatGPT and it would have told you that it wasn't going to work.
Correct.
Council President.
Okay, Councilman Velez, Councilman Udine, and then,
So let me.
and this is their
So
last
thank you,
time.
Council President, for giving me the floor. So, first of all, let me set the record clear. The Paterson Police Department, when they out there, I witness how they run plates to make sure the residents live around there. And now some of them are out of town or live in the other side, or they was partying and they left the car parked there. And they forget, but they run plates, they knock doors, because I see them, okay? This is serious. They knock doors, they go places.
That's
and
not
they
a
blow-
legal reason
and
to
they
tow a car.
That's
That's not a legal reason to tow a car because somebody's at a party.
Councilman
Because they don't
Jackson,
live in
we have-
Paterson.
Councilman Jackson has the
I'm just
floor.
outlining the ignorance, that's all. It's not a legal
Council
reason to tow a
President,
car because they don't live in the
he has
city.
the floor.
I'm not talking about the lazy part of my colleague. I'm talking the operation of the police to go a step further to not tow a car. So they try to do the best. Now, as I said, the second whereas, kill this resolution. The fourth whereas, kill it more. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. And I get criticized for using ChatGPT, but I'm glad that everybody's using it now. Although the New Jersey Constitution generally denies municipality the authority to make payment to private parties, that means residents, in instance where such payment are made legally required. So they made the payment required legally. They made the payment to take the car out. They agreed that they had to take the car out. They pay it legally. Now, the resolution, the good resolution, has a Paterson code. And the Paterson code reads 5-30B. It says Section 530B allowed the mayor, with agreement from the business administrator and the corporation council, to sorry, can somebody spell that name for me? That's it. I need their help always. And settle the city claims of $30,000 or less without the necessary separate council resolution. So, in other words, in other words, if the administration is telling the residents the same step that I just said before, if you think that your car was towed illegally and you plead not guilty to that ticket and you go to the court and the judge dismissed the ticket, you could go to the second floor and make a claim to the city less than $30,000, and the administrator, the mayor, and the corporate council will look and review it, or outside agency that work for it to review those claims will approve it, and they will refund the money back to them. So it says there that the chapter 530-30 says that you don't need extra resolution for that. So if you want to keep on fighting for your resolution, you could do so. But I would say, Council Mendez, we're here to just learn from each other. Let's try to get a nice, beautiful event and call all those individuals that got car tow and say, we doing this event for you, we refunding you the money in our behalf, not the city, because the city has a different process. Thank you, President.
Thank you. So these are the last comments. Prayerfully, they're very brief. When this item, sometimes it's not funny what happens, but when this item came to the office, I said the same thing that Councilman Jackson is saying, but I was asked to keep it on the agenda. So I try to do it behind the scenes before it comes out, because you have to be able to understand that there's 3 fundamental areas of government. You have the executive branch, the legislative branch, which we are, and judicial. We cannot go into the judicial branch and tell them to give their money back. There's a process called tort claims. If there's a ticket that was presented, it was not presented properly, they come down to our legal department on the 2nd floor, they fill out a tort claim, the process is done. Many people have done it, they've come in, Corporation Counsel and their team does a phenomenal job. We just had a gentleman who's was blocking a driveway and went through our new process called the community court program that Corporation Counsel established in the city, and it took a couple of weeks because they had to go through the process, hear it before a judge, and that's how it happened. But I agree, there's some commentary that's been made by our council members, and it's the same thing I said when I saw it before it came to the agenda. But it is here tonight. I'm going to allow Councilman Udine very briefly, Councilman Mendez, and then right after that, Councilman Jackson.
Thank you, Council
Councilman, before he goes, 39 will be on regular. It's the Bangladesh American Wheat.
Thank you, Council President.
And then we're going to move forward.
Council President, thank you very much. Again, let me be very clear. Councilman Jackson was mentioning that I called the residents lazy, which totally wrong information is stated publicly. I said because of some of the residents are leaving their car on the street for days after days, and that particular way I mentioned lazy, when you're generalizing it, totally you are misinforming people, sending my message in different ways, which is totally wrong. But let me just read some of the messages that I was going through, Councilman, and that's the experience of the regular people. When we are cleaning street, the PW team or on the street cleanup was taking place, some of our residents were throwing the snow back on the middle of the street. And question is, why are they doing it? Because it's easy to throw back on the middle of the street instead of putting on the curb. No, it's not relevant. Everything comes along with it, because how it is important for all of us, for everyone, to be part of city's progress. That's exactly my point. When you're talking about the snow situation, some cars were left very close to the intersection, and there are multiple fire. Last 3-4 weeks, you saw how many fires took place in our city. In many occasions, that fire truck were not able to make turns because people left their car in the wrong spot for days. We have to see for 1 or 2 people in each block is degrading the quality of life on each section. That's exactly was my point. Councilman, I understand, and I'm talking to the resident directly. Even 2 days ago, there was a message came from a young lady from the first ward that there was a car parked, and she actually sent me the picture of the car, that parked car from the beginning of the first snow, second snow, and until now, the same car in the same spot, why this car was not towed or ticketed. I'm talking about this kind of scenario, Councilman. We all have to be part of it. We need enforcement, and we all have to part of the progress. Think about the situation where many occasions cars were parked hiding the fire hydrants. That happened in many occasions. We cannot encourage people to keep doing this. And that's why we need to make people feel that this is our home. We all have responsibility along with the government agencies. That's exactly my point. If any government, any administration, council member feel that just with the effort of the governing body, a city will move forward, that 100% is wrong and misleading. Paterson, the resident has to feel welcoming. The resident has to be part of the city. The resident has to feel that this is my home and this is our home, and progression is our responsibility. The city will move forward at that point. And they will make the governing body accountable at that point. Some people do not care what their council members or their mayor is doing because they don't even care the place they're living in. When they will start feeling the importance of their own home, their own city, they will make the elected official accountable at that point, because they will start feeling the importance of participating in election or vote or come to the council, talk about the council, call council members and find out what's happening. That's exactly what my stand, Councilman.
Okay.
And Councilman, you are the first ward councilman, and I'm talking about my recent work. I don't want to actually, because this is election season, I don't want to feel that I'm trying to portray something different. Even last time when I was, right before we repaid the Colonial Avenue in that section, we were knocking on the door. We're talking to people that, we are going to repave the street. Trust me, many residents that said they did not see any of the council members. I'm doing, including myself. Maybe I'm responsible too. I'm not just blaming you. As an at-large, I should be there, and I felt that we all need to be part of the progress like
Councilman Udine, if I may, and you're correct, as at-large, every
ward, yes.
Three at-large represent all of
city.
the wards.
So
and
it's
they're
really
able to
hard
go.
to go to every single door, but we tried, Councilman. And Councilman, if you recall, when I was elected in 2022, on the second week, I sat down with you. I said, Councilman, the Redwood Avenue was not repaid for years. Can we repave? Can we push for this? And the response you gave me, I don't want to highlight here, was not very satisfactory. But I emailed the DPW director to make sure that we repave Redwood Avenue when we have done that in the earlier 2023. And this is what we are talking about. We need cooperative effort. It can run against each other. It can run with each other. No problem with this. Politics, do our side, not in the chamber when we are pushing people's agenda forward.
Thank you,
Council President.
Councilman Udine, Councilman Jackson, and that's your two times.
Councilman Mendez.
Councilman Mendez, and then Councilman Jackson, and then we're going to move on.
Thank you. I think that politics play a big role, and that is the reason why there's so much pushback on this, just election time, and I understand that. And quite honestly, Councilman, I don't need to use ChatGPT or whatever you want to call. The difference between you and I is that I'm a type of person that I don't need to like the person to work with the person. That's the difference between you and I. You think that you could be on your own. That's the reason why you don't accomplish anything. That legislation is be signed by legal. I never, in all the time that I have at this council, I never present a document that is not signed by legal. That's the big difference between you and I. I know how to work with people. Now, in the four-way ask, I'm going to have to read the resolution. In the four-way ask, specifically say, the towing fee impose a hardship on many, with some of those effective stating that they have not received a specific action order when the vehicle has to be moved. Now, at the end of the statement of purpose, this resolution expresses support for acceptance and payment to legitimate individuals claiming for reimbursement of towing fees. It's clearly stated there. Legal will not put something on the table that is not being signed by him and is being properly authorized. Now I know it's election time. I know it's Alex Mendez put in the legislation. Listen, I don't need to do this to get the support of the people. I'm not here for that. But listen, if you don't agree that people are going through such a hardship in this city, I mean, I don't think you live in Paterson. You have seniors that they cannot leave their apartment. They keep their car for 2, 3, or 4 days. You don't know what's going on with a lot of the family. We have seen that they got their car with torn because they have to go out 2 and 3 days after the storm.
Okay.
We don't know none of that stuff. I'm speaking, Council President. A lot of people have the chance to speak, and I want this on regular. People choose whether you vote against or in support. I followed the step for this legislation. So now, In this resolution, there's compassion of this piece of legislation. You have no idea what $300 make, what different $300 make for some residents that live in this city. And I'm gonna say this again. We have people that are one paycheck away from being homeless. And what we did on the storm, we used the storm to take advantage and take money out of people's pocket. The administration, the police department got direction from the administration. There was not a clear plan. This administration never had a plan on how to address this. A few weeks after the storm, they start towing cars, or like, let's get the downtown clean. And you don't do that. Passaic was going through the same thing, but it was a big difference with Mayor Lauren Passaic. They have a specific plan. We're removing snow in the middle of the night. How easy it is to scheduling everything during the day when people are at work. By the time they come back, the street's gonna be clean. People, they're gonna find a place to park. Every street was one-way street for close to a month in the city of Paterson. I know people have some short memory, but they're not gonna forget that. Every street in Paterson was one-way street in Paterson. There was people fighting for parking. Why not putting the resources on public work to do the snow removable with the street cleaning schedule during the daytime? How difficult is that? You know when that happens? When you have an effective plan to clean the city. That's when it's happening. The mayor was criticized because he started towing cars without giving people a choice where to park the car. Everybody remember that? The first time they started snow removable, there was no plan. There was no choice. Then after that, he opened the parking authority in the school after the fact. After the fact, I know people that were crying. We have a lot of people that they use those, the minivan or the car that they have to do Uber Dash, Uber E, to make a little bit of money to pay the rent. So you think that this is a crime? Putting a legislation to encourage the administration to reimburse the funding. I'm not talking about moving my parking ticket from the police department. Let's not confuse the public. This is the legislation about compassion, and it's legally drafted, and it's here. And the 4, I said it clearly, and the statement of purpose on the bottom is called legitimate. I already read it. But it's election time, and it's sad. So all I'm saying is, Paterson, I never said this before. You cannot use the storm or any Mother Nature situation to take advantage of the resident of this city. And that's what happened. There was hundreds of cars being torn. Hundreds. A lot of those cars are still there because people have no job in the city, people are struggling, and they couldn't make the money to take those cars out.
Thank you. Council.
So in closing, Paterson, Paterson resident, just pay attention to this conversation.
Yes.
Pay attention how people vote. Pay attention to this conversation.
Oh,
that's all I'm going to say.
We are definitely doing it. Councilman Jackson?
So I'm going to try to be as brief as possible, Council President. Well, according to the rules of, according to the process, we get two opportunities to debate. All right, so what's alarmingly disappointing, Councilman, is your effort to take offense and get defensive in it. And oftentimes when people don't understand how things work, their defense is to get defensive. Nowhere did you outline, you didn't go back over your document to outline how the second whereas legitimately serviced the public. Nowhere. You didn't go back in there to validate. See, you talked about how this legislation was written with compassion. You don't even know that because you're not the person that wrote it. Someone else wrote it, and they put your name on it. But more importantly, if you were concerned about the public's best interests, when you reference DPW resources, there was a night when the Assistant Director Ojeda came to the podium, and we specifically outlined how over $4.6 million was saved by DPW by doing the in-house bulk pickup. Nowhere did we come together collectively to force the mayor to hire additional manpower for DPW so those services can be fairly rendered. We didn't do that. We outlined how those DPW workers was forced to work overtime. They had more than 25 plus vacancies in DPW. See, that's the job of a council person. Councilman Uden outlining how he walked the neighborhood and the residents feel like the council person. I understand. Our residents are so frustrated. A great deal of them don't clearly understand who's responsible for what. So you walk through the community outlining how you're going to do things that the council seat doesn't empower you to do. I don't do that. What I do is I remain diligent here and I do the work against these things, and I do it from a legal perspective, Councilman Mendez. There is no emotion tied to it. It's a legal perspective. I do the research based on the law on how we can do certain things. So I don't agree fully with Council President when you say that we don't have the ability to interject or intervene in the third portion of the of governance with the judicial, because if the ticket was issued illegally, then the courts have an obligation. And I've gone there and said, listen, the council has written legislation that allows homeowners to block their driveway. There should be a refund on not only the tow, but the ticket written. So there is a process for the council to intervene through the judicial process when something is done improperly. Now, Councilman Udine, who is putting his flag on supporting the residents, and then you want to double back on what I'm going to do. I'm going to put together an edit of your words, of you saying residents being lazy, and then you retracting it. Just apologize. Don't say that I'm outlining you in the wrong, or painting you in the wrong light. You're the one said that the residents was lazy, and I'm telling you that that has no legal bearing on what was done improperly. But I'm going to tell you what you did not support. In fact, none of you supported the legislation that I wrote for the illegal charging of residents of these apartment buildings and people who are not authorized by something that's already legally written. It's already in our code, it's in our charter that owners are not eligible to charge their residents for parking. Not one of you would support that, not even Councilman Mendez. If you care so much about the residents being illegally charged, there's residents that's being charged for parking every single month. And you wouldn't, I would let you write the legislation. I don't mind sitting in on a co-sponsor, but you're gonna say that it never got signed by legal. The fact that you as a legislator believe that a piece of legislation that you write needs a signature by legal just outlines your further delusion of what the powers outline you to do. You don't run for office to say, I'm going to convince legal to sign more legislation than Councilman Jackson. You run for office to say, I'm going to be a legislator. You don't need an attorney to sign off on legislation for it to be legal. That's not how it works. If someone chooses to challenge legislation that we approve, that Corporation Council doesn't sign off on, there's a process for that. They go to court and they challenge it. It's not required. Nowhere in the charter, nowhere does it say within Faulkner, nowhere does it say within Robert's Rules that you need a signature from Corporation Council. But you, taking advice and consent from the mayor's council, allowed him to run circles around you on this one, and it's showing. Now, let me tell you what I did. Let me tell you what I did. Now, I'm sorry, Council President, I'll wrap. I'll be less than 2 minutes. What I did was, when I showed up over there, and I definitely called around. I called around different favors to say, listen, can you help me get this vehicle out? Because, you know, I'm constantly calling. But what I do is I pay for those vehicles myself. I go into there, and you can validate that. Go down to citywide and ask them. Not only do I pay with my Apple Pay that I can show you on my phone, I pay cash. I go in there. There was a gentleman that his car got towed on Main Street. I paid for the entire tow. So if you're really concerned about it, put yourself to work and, you know, make sure residents.
I already did that, Papa.
Yeah, sure you did.
Already
sure you
did that.
Now, relative to fire trucks,
I don't need to do a video.
not being able to make turns. Well, if we didn't allow for these neighborhoods to be so grossly overcrowded, and overdeveloped, and we didn't allow for developers to charge for parking that's forcing their residents to park on the street. Now he wants to walk away. Then we'll make progress, but he wants to call the residents lazy while he's too afraid to support legislation that's going to make developers do what they're supposed to do. Let residents park on the sites that they've been allowed to build on. I mean, I can go all night, but I'm going to stop it there.
Council President.
Thank you, Council President, for the mic.
You have had twice to speak, council members. After Councilwoman Cotton, we're moving forward. Councilman Velez, you have spoken
could do
twice.
an amendment
We have
to
to
this
follow Robert
resolution.
Orders of Rules. You have spoken twice.
No,
Councilwoman
Council
Cotton.
President, I asked for the floor. I'm not breaking the
No, you
rules.
spoke twice.
Okay.
Councilwoman Cotton.
No, but that don't mean I'm cautioned to talk 3-4 times.
Yes, you.
You said-
If I
One-
ask the floor,
Councilman Velez.
I just want to do an
One
amendment.
second, Councilman Velez.
To make it look
No,
good.
we're not. Councilman
Why not?
Velez.
I'm
Councilman
asking the
Velez.
floor. I'm asking the
Councilman
floor.
Velez,
Council
point of
President.
order. Point of order.
Where's the point of order?
The point of order is there is another council person that has the floor.
Oh, I
You have
come back.
spoken twice.
No, but I
After
could
she
speak three.
after she speaks, we are moving past this item. We have the police director. We'll go through his items. We have payment of bill, so the public portion can speak.
So
we have
Council
spoken
President, requesting-
Councilwoman Cotton.
Requesting the answer.
No, Councilwoman Cotton, please.
You put a point of order. has to be an answer.
Councilwoman Cotton has the floor. I didn't call your
Okay.
name.
Can you come back to me, please?
Councilwoman Cotton.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Council President. I just want to say with the resolution here that Councilman Mendez put together, you do not have in there reimbursing the residents where the money was going to come from to reimburse the residents. I don't know where the money was going to come from. He don't. Well, what I need to understand, let me tell you something. And I said, I'm going to try to be quick, but that $1-a-day insurance is killing people in this city. A guy tore up 4 cars on my block, $140,000 worth of cars, and he only had $5,000 in coverage. They said, well, what do? I said, the only thing you can do is go after them on a silver suit. Otherwise, if you don't have full coverage, you don't have no car. So some of the laws, things got to be changed. For Councilman Mendez, I know you want to, put this, but you should have thought about how it was going to get. How were you going to be able to reimburse the people with the? He didn't. How they going to be reimbursed? And not mislead you. Not all of them were not for snow either. Some of them was for not having registered vehicles and insurance. So. That's all I need to say. If you're going to put something together.
Councilwoman, legitimate towing. It's within the day. Council
It's in the
President.
day with-
She has the floor.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there because,
No.
like I said before, I mean, it should have been, you should have clearly put it inside the resolution, how you were going to be able to, how were you going to determine who gets the money, who don't get the money, people who didn't have registration, people who didn't have insurance, people who were blocking driveways, people who was parking people handicap spot. All those are in there too. All those cars are in there. So now how are you going to be able to determine which ones were which?
Got the dandy
Thank you, Councilman Cotton.
Council President.
Madam Clerk, we have our police director here. We're moving
Council
on to
President.
items 28 through 32.
Council President.
We're
I
not
just wanna
discussing this item any further.
Council President.
Council, we're
Good
not.
evening, everybody.
Yes, good evening, Director.
Council,
I just
Director,
I
will you all
wanna-
respect,
Yes,
Director?
Director, we're moving
Director,
past this item.
the quorum of the council had to be set.
It has been
the
set.
Robert Rules of Order
Robert
says.
Rules of Order.
The Robert Rule Order
Councilman
says
Vel-
that
point
if a
of
member,
order, point of
if
order.
a member of the council
Point of order.
requests the
No,
floor
that
through
is
the
not
council
true.
president, the
Councilman-
president had the knowledge.
Councilman Velez,
So
it is not
I'm
true.
doing the right thing.
You cannot speak unless the council president
I'm
Point of
requesting
order.
the floor
Point of order,
with
Council
respect.
President.
Councilman Jackson.
Point of order. First of all, I don't know where he's getting that rule from. The rule does not say that
If I request
any
the
person
floor.
that, no, the
If
rule
I
of
request
debate,
the floor
the
through
rule
the
of debate
president.
is that you get, each council member is entitled to 2 opportunities to-
Absolutely.
to debate.
And you had two
That's the rule of debate.
opportunities.
You've
But
had,
the discussion
there is no
extends.
discussion, there's no rule of debate that
That's it.
says a council person must be acknowledged. The council president controls the floor
Yes.
and who's acknowledged.
Thank you, Councilman
If it was
Jackson.
you,
To our
it'd be okay.
director,
Good
director,
evening,
you
everybody.
have, you have 5 orders.
Before you go into mine, I don't know what each of you may think of this, but you know, every time, as the former sheriff, when I ride by that empty lot, you know, if you look in other towns, they take the snow, put them into the dump trucks, and they pile it, and guess what? Your roads are empty. We wouldn't even be discussing half of this. I don't know why we don't use that lot and load it with snow until it melts.
Because they don't have a
There is
plan.
So,
nothing
Councilman
there but a
Mendez, you
big
don't have the
pile
There's
floor.
no
of
plan,
dirt.
director.
So, Director, that wasn't the item that we were discussing.
understand.
There was an item about towing, so it had
Yes,
nothing
but
to
I
do with
just
that.
wanted you to
So you
know
have,
for
yes,
the
you have
future.
5
It may
items.
be an idea.
Director, you have 5 items.
Yes.
You have 3 items for purchase of equipment with confiscated funds.
Yes.
And 2 items to purchase new computers and equipment for the new complex.
Yes.
Council members, this has been discussed. Do you have any issues with the police department? We're merging the 2 for the public safety complex.
That's the one where they're doing the communication center
Yes.
with the fire department down on Pennsylvania Avenue, and eventually that's probably where communications will be stationed so that fire, police, OEM can all be in one roof, underneath one roof.
Which item, which number is that?
I don't know that that's on here.
Which number is that, Council President?
That's item 30?
30 is just for purchases of computers and monitors for the police department. So that's going to include vehicle computers, you know, like when we run plates, things of that nature. When we redo our IT, our operations center with the drones and all the new technology we're using. So that's what that is for.
Okay, so that's just in general. That's not for, specifically for this,
No, not
Public safety.
specifically for a project.
so.
When we come for the specific project, fire and police are going to get together, and then we'll decide how that'll be done, whether we use state money, whether we use federal grant money. There'll be a lot of different things, whether we use a combination of asset forfeiture funds. You know, that's still in the making, Councilman.
This item, number 30, do we have an outline, do we have exactly what it is we're purchasing?
This is going to be for computers and monitors for the police department. It's only $51,000. As I said, this will be for the computers, the monitors for the police department.
So $51,000, how many computers and monitors are we buying? We're replacing all the computers and monitors in the
No,
PD?
that's not even close. Computers today with the monitors, and especially when you get into the computers in the cars, you get into the monitors in the cars, they're much more expensive because we're using, you know, we use a computer-aided dispatch system that's got to telecast it. We got to be able to telecast back. It's not your everyday computer.
So one, computers are not as expensive as they used to be. They're
No.
they're a lot less expensive now.
These are a lot more rugged, Mike.
Okay,
You know
so,
what it is?
what I'm trying to figure out is like, you know, inventory, quantity.
Yeah.
How much specifically are we purchasing? Like, this is just a blank check to
I
say.
can get you that, and I'll have them send that to you. But as I said, this is for equipment that is much more robust and more for.
All right, so Director, no disrespect to you, right? Because this definitely has nothing to do with you. I've sat here and I've listened to people give us quotes for $1.7 million for cameras.
Sure.
That we still don't have, by the way. And when I asked them for the model number so I could look up these robust pieces
Sure.
of peripherals, right? It's not worth half as much as what, a fraction of what is outlined.
I can
and
assure you, Councilman.
I'm gonna need a detailed list.
I'll get you a detailed list.
I want to know model numbers.
You got that?
I want to know specifics. How many units?
Yes.
I want to know for what division, where are they going?
We can't, I wouldn't be able to give you that because.
Why not?
Because that's kind of.
No, I don't think so. That's not, to know, if there's,
Investigative division, it's going to depend on if it's a plate reader computer.
I'm not
If it's
at, first of all, all computers do all computer work. There's no specific computer that just
I
does
can go
plate
outside
reader.
and make a phone call to IT and tell you.
No. We have another week before we vote on this thing, so I don't need you to
See,
do that
here's
right
what
now.
I'm worried about, and this is my concern. I came down here tonight because I want to make sure these get passed, because we have a public safety meeting on Friday, and if I didn't get these passed today, I'd be waiting into April or May to see the cars
I'm
and the
confident you
computers.
got 8 strong support individuals that's not interested in some of this information I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I want to know the specifics.
No,
I
just like I said,
I want to know what we're
make sure
buying,
that
how much we're
I'm
paying.
not holding up all these cars
Council
because of
President.
the computers.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then I'm waiting until May.
So
and we
how
don't
many
have cars?
How many cars do we have currently that's not outfitted with computers?
No, they do. We have new cars that are coming in. We have 10 new cars.
So, okay, so
That's why if you let me make a phone call, I will give you the information.
no, because I want the information provided to me in writing. I want it.
Okay, I'll let the BA handle that.
Council
I
President.
want to provide it in
But
writing.
please keep in consideration that if you hold my computers up, you hold my cars up, and then in the summer, when I don't have cars on the road and you're looking for police cars, I don't have computers.
Respectfully, Director, as the person who's responsible for spending taxpayers' dollars,
Yes.
individuals
This
who are
is not
responsible for
taxpayer
this,
dollars.
every dollar that's spent in this city is taxpayers'
This
dollars.
is not a taxpayer dollar.
Every single
No,
dollar.
it is not.
Every single
This
dollar.
is drug forfeited funds
Drug forfeited funds that was taken by whom?
taken by a drug dealer,
That was taken by whom?
federal government, and we get a percentage of that back.
Okay.
My whole career.
That is taken by individuals that's paid by taxpayers to do a job, so their performance of their job produced revenue, whether it's through drug forfeiture, whether it's through seizures. However, those individuals.
You're being misguided.
I'm not being misguided
yes,
at all.
You are being misguided.
No, you're
because
not.
I worked this my whole career in the DEA.
Did you work it for
okay?
free?
No.
You didn't work it for free. You got paid. You got paid by taxpayers.
One person worked there, $20 million was seized, and guess what? We got 20% of that, or 30% of that. If you took the officer's salary, guess what? It's a smither, like you took 15 cents of his salary, that you got $20 million.
Okay.
Council President.
And if
So
that
it's not where
if that individual
you're paying the officer and you're getting the same amount. No, you're getting 2 million times more in asset
Director,
forfeiture
this
funds.
$51,000. If it's 2 million, then maybe see that's some
just
things that we have to check
explaining the way it
upon,
works.
because maybe we need to be more accountable to those individuals who should be out earning us more than 51,000. But what I'm talking
Get
about
calls
is
all the time. They
what
love
I'm
to
talking
have us.
I'm talking about is being responsible in spending, right?
We are.
Listen, if I'm walking down the street and I find $100, do I just give it to my kid and say, don't worry about how you spend it because I found it? No, it's $100. Let's be responsible in how we spending the money. I want to know
I think
wanna
I've
know-
been very responsible with spending money, and like I said, I've dealt with asset forfeiture. I've seized
Okay, well, let
over.
me just put it this way, Director.
Seized over $500 million in my career. My
Has
group.
Paterson residents
My
gotten-
group.
Has Paterson residents benefited from $500 million?
Paterson residents have benefited from it because when I was a county sheriff, that money was shared with Paterson, that money was shared with the other municipalities, that money is shared. I started the Paterson post of duty with the Drug Enforcement Administration. We didn't even have one here in this county, and guess what? Because of that post of duty, we get a bigger take on the asset forfeiture funds. So I know this like I know my name.
Let me give you an example why it's important what I'm doing. If another municipality takes the forfeiture money and they spend it responsibly, you know what that does? It reduces the burden on the taxpayer.
They don't
But
even.
but if Paterson,
those other municipalities don't even get a nickel
but
of it
if
because we
Paterson
don't
spends it
participate.
irresponsibly, then when we need something else, the taxpayers have to pay for it. So
Councilman,
I
whatever
appreciate-
you need, the
Okay,
PA
so
will get you.
if you allow me to finish, right? If you allow me to finish, because the part of responsibility is, as I'm being asked to vote for this, it should already be included.
Please don't.
As I'm asked to support how many computers, I mean, for a bill for computers, I
I
should
told
know.
you, I will walk outside and I will call and tell you in 5 minutes
All right,
exactly what it
All
is.
So, Director, Madam Clerk,
Council President.
that was item 30. It will be on regular. Just to all the items, just to make
Council
sure.
President, can we
One
have
second.
a discussion?
I know,
Oh,
one
okay.
second. To that item, please send the information in email. It will be on regular.
The BA is
Councilman-
gonna-
Yes,
the BA is
Councilman
gonna get
Mendez, Councilman Udine, and then Councilman Velez.
Thank you. The Director, item 20A, so the 10 cars, so what is all 10 will be for patrolling, Director?
Yeah, they're
Patrol?
10 Ford Interceptors, and if you see right after that, the gold-type business machines for purchase of equipment and accessories, that's the lights and the radios, all the things that are going to be needed. It'll be where they're needed at the time. So most of the time we're needed in patrol because they get more in accidents because they're out there more. The unmarked cars, sometimes we'll replace them if they're older, and then we'll put them down to patrol as well.
Correct. So the reason why, whether they're marked or marked, I just want to see
I
more.
don't know.
I just want to see more new car in the road. And
I
listen,
would say a good portion's going to be marked here.
I get this concern from my third ward resident. You know, the east side area, we're close to the highway.
Yes, sir.
You know, people that come in, they try to get in and out of town when they do the illegal activity. So I need police presence in the third ward, Director. We need police presence. And
got
there's a Crown Vic. I don't know who drive that Crown Vic in our Paterson Police Department. If you could replace that car, it's like from 1980.
That's
Director,
why I wanted
please.
to get here and get this
I know.
done.
And the last question for you that I have, Director. Now I hear that you was talking about technology. I was having a conversation with my council colleague at the same time. But I have a question for you, and it's you remember that we approved we have $1 million. We approved the purchasing of 80 cameras, 80 plus cameras. Mr. Ed Bosley was in charge of that program. I asked for I request multiple report. I never received it. Who's in charge of monitoring those cameras? The police department is monitoring those cameras?
Yes, we have and I want to be careful about how I talk about this. We have an operations center 24/7 that has high-tech cameras, infrared, everything you can imagine. We can be anywhere in the city within a minute. And yes. No, this is for cameras he's talking about that can see and do. So, yeah, that's all through the operations division and the internet technology people. But that is manned 24/7. There's somebody there now. There's officers in there and a supervisor.
I know I'm not part of the Public Safety Committee. They removed me from Public Safety, but I would love to have a conversation, Director,
You
because
should come over and see it.
I'm extremely concerned about those cameras that dumping People, they just continue dumping garbage in the same place. I check, I see all the illegal activity. We don't have to get into location.
No,
but
no.
I see all those activity. People are
We're
frustrated.
using a
and-
system that, I don't want to say the name of it, but we're using a system that ties your Ring camera, our police camera, our county camera, my body camera. I can see it all if I walk over to police headquarters right now.
I definitely have to do.
You should do a tour.
I need to just
Yes.
go and do a visit and go
you.
do a walkthrough for that
President.
director, because I really need to know, as a legislator, my responsibility is to go through the program, even though I was totally against Bossy to run that program
Best
because
in the
that was not
state.
his expertise. But
Thank-
after I voted and approved the project, I really hope and my expectation is to make sure that listen, it's working, it's changing, it's stopping crime, doing what we need to do. But really, we need to have a conversation about that.
Thank you, you should.
So, to my other council colleagues, that, what he's discussing is not on the agenda, so those are requests that have to be sent in, so we don't need to have a dialogue, because we're discussing the items that are here. That particular information could be emailed to the council members. Council members, please stick to the agenda items.
Yes, correct.
Councilman Velez and then Councilman Udine.
Thank you, Council President. Director,
Yes, sir.
I know you since 1999, so I know how hard you work. 28 and 29, if I put it together, Resolution 28 and 29,
Yes.
each vehicle is going to cost $76,445,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The $46,000 the vehicle and $29,000 for the equipment that go into the vehicle, right? So I'm good with that because, Dan's got a Jet GTP, the vehicle range on $46,000 to $50,000. And yesterday, I expressed myself to the Attorney General. All the concern the resident brought forward was the amount of calls, response, et cetera, et cetera. And one of the things that I pointed back to her is that our police department is understaffing
Yes.
with our equipment, especially cars,
Yes.
and our technology, right? And knowing that the state took over the operation, not the police, the operation of the police department, I see that the two items are tagged as a T funding. T. Silva is not here, but I believe that T stands for transitional aid. I
Okay.
don't know if that money falls into that, but the account that they taking it from the T account. It's not capital, it's T account. So I don't know if that falls into transitional aid.
TA doesn't have a separate
It
account.
could be,
TA does not have a separate account. Transitional aid does not have it. That's
no, it's probably going to be the asset.
Oh,
forfeiture
Javier is
account.
here. Javier, you identified the funding from the T. What T stand for?
T is a trust account, and that's a
Oh,
forfeiture
trust
funds.
account. Now
That's
I got it.
forfeiture.
Okay, for forfeiture. Now that we go to the trust account, where did the state finance falls into those $10 million? Instead of burning that account to supply, I know we need them, right? So we had to get the money from somewhere. But can the state assign money for more cars? We got $10 million last year.
Look, I can't answer for the state, but the state gives money to the police department for certain, operational components, whether it be the command center, whether it be drones. I don't know exactly what items they're purchasing, but with asset forfeiture, it goes through the chief, myself, and then obviously the CFO, and then once we sign off on it, that's the rules with the federal government and state, and then pretty much we do it. But as far as where they decide, I don't know if it's an insurance issue,
Correct.
a liability issue, why they don't buy cars. They pretty much spend their money, but the cars we have always done with
So those cars
asset forfeiture.
that involve in motor vehicle accident, thanks God our police officer don't get that serious injured, but some of them does. do those cars go after a traffic investigation if it was fault of the person that hit the car, not the cop, because they got the sirens on and or whatever? Do they compensate back the city through motor vehicle accident reports or whatever claims?
A police officer is not charged
No, I know.
money.
But if, let's make believe, the police going in the right,
If a police officer is reckless or negligent in their driving, then they would be disciplined.
No, I know
We
that.
would go through the discipline.
What I'm talking is, if they respond to an emergency and they had the lights on or whatever, and the other person did not by law the
Yield?
the yield, whatever.
The issue is this, look, being in law enforcement for 42 years, you have to realize that just because you put a light on and just because you put a siren on doesn't mean
They're gonna stop.
that somebody that's got a green light is going to hear that, may have their music on, may not see it. So it's very difficult to say, you should have stopped at a green light while we were going through the red light with the sirens on.
So-
It's
so the
almost
car-
like a no-fault accident.
So
I
if
don't
the
know,
car
the
is
attorney
not
would have
wrecked,
to
total,
speak to that.
if the car is not total wrecked, right?
Yes.
Do the motor pool bring it back to
we will
commission?
have somebody, we repair them all the time.
Correct.
But it's not so much, it's more of the mileage because they're 24/7 running. So you have to replace
So
them.
last but not least, Council President, it's fair enough. I know you run also the taxi division, correct? They be operating with their own personal cars. They want to do more, but they don't want to risk their cars in different areas. If any chance, I know we did it before. We identified cars that we could give them to see if we could equip those inspectors with vehicles.
I have been working with our new BA. We have been discussing the electronic vehicles, and that's what we're trying to get hold of, to get them just one of the vehicles, or perhaps with the purchase of these new vehicles, we may be able to push one down to
Correct.
start.
Mr.
At
BA,
least
through the
we'll
chair,
get some.
through the chair, Mr. BA, I have noticed those vehicles park in a Board of Health, okay? And employees from Board of Health have been using their own personal car and being reimbursed for the mileage and gas. So if those cars are parked there, the division of taxi, they bring a lot of revenues, okay? So if you could spare 3 cars, not one, because they need 3. They're not 2, actually, you got 2 inspectors, right? And you could lend them 2 of those cars until they get a permanent car, it will be suitable.
We've
for they
been
could do the
working
job.
together. Me
Yes,
and the BA
yes, just
have
work
been
out.
working
I know
very
you could work
close.
on that.
Councilman, the director and I have talked about this. We talked about
Yes.
this in cabinet meetings with other departments there, and hopefully we get the resolution
We're
we're
going to
talking
get,
about
we're going to
soon.
get to the bottom of it, Council.
All right, thank you. At least you can wait for your car.
Is that it, Council
Thank you,
President?
Director, you're fine.
Thank you, everybody. Have a
Thank you so
wonderful night.
much.
Thank you, thank you,
Ma-
Director.
Jerry.
I had a question, Council President.
You have one second, Director. Councilman Jackson, and then we'll go on
I asked
payment.
before.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, I had
Council-
asked before.
Yeah, he's
you have a
using one
question?
shot.
Yeah.
Councilman Udine, Director.
Director Spezial.
Director. Councilman Udine and Councilman Jackson, and then we're going to go on to payment of bills and to public portion.
Thank you, Council President. Director, sorry to bring you back. So I'm in full support of public safety. I want our public safety department to be strengthened, or definitely. My question regarding all 4 items, 28, 29, 30, and 31, and all 4 items I see only one vendor's information is there, how much was bid. My question is, there's no other bidder participated in those bids?
We go through the Bergen County Co-op.
Okay.
So because you have the Bergen County Co-op, we go with the vendor that they use. But if the Bergen County Co-op may have Dodge Durangos opposed to the Ford Explorers. However, we may have to wait 7 months for the Ford Explorer versus the Dodge Durango, so we always try and go with what can we get our hands on the quickest, which is the same, And a lot of times, that's the reason why. We follow the bid process according to the state guidelines, and that's the only reason. No reason, we don't know anybody, you know.
Right. So when you say it's open bid, not other vendors can participate into it, or?
This is, I guess you would explain
May I,
it better.
Council
Yeah,
President?
Yeah, it's,
The
So
co-op.
the co-op does the bidding on behalf of the members of the co-op. So whatever the item is or the service that members are interested in, the co-op follows bid procedures just like a municipality does, and basically by participating in the co-op has done the solicitation, and they're required to get the lowest and best price for whatever product or service one of their members is looking for. So that us being in the co-op is the co-op does all the bidding and provides the best prices for specific products, and then we're able to go direct. That's the process.
So I have additional question, Mr. BA. When you're saying the co-op providing the best amount or the lowest bid, how do I know there was other bid, or how much was the other bids taking place? There is no information provided.
Point of order, Council President.
As a member,
Point of order.
point of order, Councilman Jackson.
So, relative to the item that's on the agenda that we're discussing, if Councilman Udine, which is further disappointing me, after 4 years, if you don't understand the process of procurement, Mr. Savalas is our purchasing agent. He can outline all of the details within procurement. We're taking up time from the director, we're taking up time from the public for you to have a session on education on procurement, which is not fair to the public, and is in relative to how we're discussing agenda items. You're asking the BA now a question that has nothing to do with this specific item.
Well, Councilman, I'm not sure exactly what you are trying to refer to. When you're saying I'm taking, sir, since I'm speaking now, I think I should have chance to complete my sentence. When I am addressing a question to the director, a director extend that question or refer to the BA, I think I should hear from both individuals. When you're saying that I'm spending time from the director and the public, I don't know what exactly you're saying. The reason of clarification is, when I saw just one bidder's information mentioned, I want to make sure that that was open bid, that was taken properly. And as BA mentioned, there's a co-op and they came up with the best one. I mean, this is not just for my understanding. Public needs to know why there's one bid or one vendor's information there. That's exactly, Councilman Jackson, we need some questions to be publicly asked and publicly answered. So intention should be behind it.
Morris,
when you're saying, sir, let me finish it. When you are saying that you are spending time from the public, think about, go back to the videos, how much time you speak and repeat yourself on the same thing, you talk, and ending up with nothing. When asking questions, the director is spending time. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. I am on the agenda. I don't talk outside the agenda ever. So thank you, and Councilman, when you think that you understand more than everyone or you understand everything, that's another problem. Because when you know that you know everything, there's no way you can learn something new. So there's always a way, and always there's a room to improvement for all of us. And I appreciate that, and I respect that, Councilman. And I want exact same respect back from you. Thank you.
After Councilman Jackson's commentary, we'll go into payment of bills and then the public portion. He has one question,
Director, one moment, please. Sure. So, very quickly, what I'm trying to outline to the councilman is, you're asking the Director of Public Safety to educate you and outline for the public the process of procurement. One, although he may be knowledgeable, as the public is, because Councilman Morris has given dissertations on this for many, many years, of which you probably never paid attention to. As he may be correct, it is improper to expect him to give an expert opinion on something that he is not an expert in. Harry Savalas sits here night in and night out. If you need to be educated again, and after 4 years, if you don't understand the process of procurement, and specifically when it comes to this particular process, that should be something that you should take time on yourself to learn. And I'm sitting here, I don't ramble, I make attempts to educate you as well as the public on specific processes based on the facts of the law. If there's ever anything that I ever state that is inaccurate, all you have to do is point out the inaccuracy of what I'm stating. You don't have to say I'm rambling about nothing because it's something that you don't understand. Just point out how it's inaccurate, and then I will make the correction. I'll apologize. Anyway, Director, most importantly, I need a report, because as we're talking about the purchasing of 10 new vehicles and peripherals, I want a detailed report on how many officers, ranking
That's already
officers,
been in the works.
that have take-home vehicles.
It's already in the works. It's already in the works. You already have it.
I have it?
Yeah,
I have it here?
yeah. Yeah, that was done.
You have
That was
BA?
already done.
You have I
It was
emailed
sent
you
to
a
everybody.
report
We already
last
did
month.
that, Councilman.
Last month.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This was the
whenever
time
you
where you
asked,
said,
last time you asked, we
when you
did it.
said I didn't get anything, I re-forwarded you what I did
We
send
were all
you.
copied on it.
And
Okay,
there's
okay,
a
hold on,
PDF
hold on, hold on.
of take-home
one second.
vehicles. Certain sensitive information is not releasable, but as much information.
Sensitive information like where these
Like the-
vehicles are traveling to, like where the
address
officers
of, yeah,
live?
the address of police officers is.
I don't need addresses. I need
All right.
municipalities.
Fair enough. Review the report that's in your email. If there's any deficiencies, let me know and we'll do our best to.
Yeah, I need a list of municipalities. Very good. Excellent.
Thank you. The agenda is completed. Almost payment of bills. The payment of bills for tonight, I'll make a motion. It is in the amount of $25,904,762.58. The bulk of this is in payroll. We have double pays inside of this payroll. You also have items in here for sewer, emergency sewer repair, and dispatch items. We have payments to various vendors. I make a motion for payment of bills in the amount of $25 million.
Discussion.
Second by Councilman Velez. Discussion, Councilman Velez, and then Councilman Mendez.
Thank you, Council President. I know we're in the payment of bills, but I don't know if this is part, do we have a payment for garbage, for the contract for garbage in this one?
Mr. CFO, is there garbage?
Disposal, Philco, anything? And to the viewers out there, if you see me with my beautiful sunglasses, it's medical, just the person that just making fun out of me on Facebook, that's good.
No, Councilman.
No? Okay, so it's not, I'm a happy camper though. So it's not part of the bill, but I just want to bring this forward. I don't know if you could bring clarification, Corporation Counsel, on my statement, but I was aware, they made me aware that Philco sold the company. And the contract that we approved was for Philco company to fulfill that contract. We don't know if this new company, I know they speak highly about them and they have more trucks or whatever. I don't know if they went through a process of evaluation if they could fulfill that contract, but I don't know, Mr. Mr. Bushi, if even that the contract was honored to Philco, but Philco went into selling his company to this new company, they don't supposed to come back to us and ratify the contract to honor the new company, the contract, or at least who evaluate or did evaluation of that company to fulfill the contract in the service that we supposed to receive in the city of Paterson. I just want to make that a question to see if, because the guy sold the company, that transaction, we was not involved. Now they inherit a contract from another company that say they're going to fulfill the contract. But what about the company, even that they speak highly about that company and they got more reputation, but we want to know if they could fulfill that contract that they had with Philco. Because I see diverse trucks. We don't know who to blame when they don't pick up the garbage. you know, because they changed company, right? And I just want to set the record clear. Mr. Bushi, are you going to get the, oh, okay. So tell me the legality of it, if in the middle of a awarded contract, they sell the company, who evaluate that company taking that contract to make sure that they fulfill the memo of understanding of that contract?
So just there,
Or the agreement of the contract.
to Councilman Mendez, and just a recommendation to the BA and to our chair of DPW, if you transfer the ownership to another company, doesn't need to come back to us as a municipality. But I do have a recommendation to our BA, Madam Chair, for DPW, perhaps in the DPW committee, you can invite them, whoever the new entity is, into your meeting. We have to validate first if it was sold. We have to make sure it's accurate, and if it is sold, I would make that recommendation, Madam Chair Cotton, if it is sold to this new entity, to have them come in so they understand the expectations from our DPW. That would be the point of
For the
recommendation.
record, Council President, that's your recommendation. I would like to listen to the BA and put on the record for, make the resident comfortable about this transaction, because people don't know who to claim. if the
Okay, so
garbage
you
is
need to
not
hear
picked
another
up or
voice.
whatever.
Okay, Mr. BA, to say the same thing. Okay.
So
No, I didn't know
Councilman,
that he was going to say the same thing. You stepping on his words. I don't know if he's going to say the same thing. Mr. BA?
So, Councilman, I'll certainly look into everything you mentioned tonight. I just see, based on a quick search, that it looks like Interway Services, IWS, acquired Philco in December. That's what it looks like. I'll look into the contract that we have and what obligations are on successor companies that purchase them and so forth. But I agree with Council President, making sure that a representative has come in. And it's possible those meetings have happened with our DPW leadership. It's very possible. But I'll find out, and if the council wants to have a sit-down with them and lay out expectations and so forth, raise concerns, we'll set that up.
If I may,
Councilwoman Cotton.
Council President, come
I
on.
think
And then
that,
Councilman Mendez.
thank you. I think that we'll probably bring them in at the DPW committee meeting, but once I'm assuming, and maybe I should not assume, that once they require another company, they have to follow through with the contract that's already in place. You cannot come back in and change a contract because somebody else bought that. It's like buying a piece of property. You have to make sure a person has a lease there. You can't break that lease. You got to wait till that lease run out before you can charge them another price. So that's the same thing for me to think that if they bought Philco, they have to honor the contract that Philco had with the city of Paterson until it expires. But I will make sure, and we'll bring that out.
So the other thing is, Council President.
Councilman Mendez, one
No,
second.
we're not going to speak more. The other question will be is, if this company that purchased Philco participate in the same process of that bid, probably was a low bidder in that time. Now you're getting a high contract. You understand what I'm saying? So in other words, we need to look into see if this company that acquired Philco participate in that RFP.
Thank you.
Because it looks like,
Coun-
of course it matters, because if he participate,
Council members,
if he participate in a RFP and he was high or low, whatever, you know what I'm saying, and now he got it in a high number.
thank you.
buying the company.
Our DPW director is watching. He said that he will set it up for the DPW committee meeting. Councilman Velez, you're
okay.
part of the meeting, will be a
All
part
right,
of
thank
that.
you,
Councilman
Council
Mendez.
President. I have a question. On page 101, on the second phase, after 606, it's another page 101. I see a payment for $1,254,000 for 22. The description is it's a recreation center for redevelopment dispatch, and another amount is $111,000 for $149. Discretion Recreation Center, and for redevelopment dispatch. Second page 101.
Mr. CFO.
After 606.
They're both payments for the dispatch center.
For the dispatch center?
Yes.
Yes.
But But under discretion, it says recreation center. So what does that mean? That we move that money from recreation center?
What's the page?
Under discretion, it says specify recreation
Mr.
recreation
CFO.
center.
If you could just do the reminder of the ARP dollars that this council voted on, where that money went, Mr. CFO, please?
I can send all that information. Originally, we had, I want to say somewhere around $20 million for a dispatch center. We moved that money around. We moved, I want to say somewhere around $9 million for a dispatch center, $5 million or $4 million for road resurfacing. I can email the rest of the amounts.
Wow. But recreation center, that's what caught my attention. That means that that money was allocated for a recreation center, and then we shifted into this, into another project?
No, we talked about a recreation center, and then we decided on,
Just a question, just description, recreation center.
that's incorrect. That's incorrect.
That's the description of the money, and it's being allocated to this project. That's,
Yeah, the description's
and my
incorrect.
question was the reason why, the rationale, so, how do we move, because we already spending based on what I see. So, or what if, so where we are with this, I mean, we're talking about $1.2 million plus $111,000.
Again, that's a clerical
It's
error.
almost 1.4 million that we're moving into.
No,
We're paying.
Council President, if I may,
Mr. VA, please?
the word recreation is simply a clerical error. It shouldn't be there.
It shouldn't be there?
The word shouldn't be there. It should, I don't know what whoever, it should have been, but that word, right?
But it's there.
No, I understand though, but to answer your question.
And all I'm saying is that I see recreation center, it is $1,254,422, and recreation center description, $111,000, $149, but I see that it's going to be used for another project. So I really need some clarification on this. It's a large amount of money to be paid, and I don't, quite honestly, it shouldn't be there, the description, but it's there, so.
Thank you. So to the BA, it has already been stated on the record. Can we just amend the clerical error to put the correct statement? The money is being spent on the communication center, which this council has indeed voted upon, but we need to make sure that it's correctly identified. Is the control number, does that control number match the communication center?
yes, it's, like you can see there, it says H&S
1.24
Construction.
plus 111,000.
We're paying H&S Construction, and it's for, and I can give you the backup of the PO, so I can email that to everybody.
Also, just I know that we voted on this communication center. Can you send information to all the council members of the exact total of what the exact amount was for the communication center, how much we have already paid, and what is remaining? Could you just send that information?
Okay.
Incubator, where we spent money from, I asked for the report from the PRC. We spent over $20+ million already there. So now we're spending another $1 million without reports on what the progress is, how much we spent there. It's on the agenda to vote for it. None of you guys supported it when I asked for the report on spending for millions and millions of dollars. We spent, what happened to the equipment that we spent over $15 million on? What happened with all the refrigerators, the ovens, the stoves? We didn't get any reports on that. You guys are letting them stuff into the budget, and he's acting like he found something for $1.1 million. We spent over $25 million in this place already, and we don't have a report on it.
Council President.
Thank you. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Council President,
I'm sorry,
before-
Councilman Velez.
CFO, do we have
I'm sorry,
a,
Council
Councilman
President.
Velez.
Go ahead.
okay,
Councilman
CFO,
Velez.
do we have a credit card on file for Amazon?
We have an account with Amazon.
And Amazon charged through credit card or
Through
It's a purchase order.
purchase order? Wow, and that's fast to pay to Amazon? You know, how long it takes them to put the paperwork and get paid right away? Because I see items in Amazon here that probably was in December, and they're already getting paid. So we have vendors in the city of Paterson that are locally, and they take months to get paid. So you're telling me, do you have an account with Amazon? That's why I asked if you have a credit card, log into Amazon app, because they're getting paid fast. Meanwhile, we have vendors in the city of Paterson locally that had to wait months to get paid. So I want to be across the board to say the same way you treat Amazon, you treat the other vendors that put their payment through the city. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Roll call, Madam
Council,
Clerk.
okay, very good.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Roll call on the payment of bills in the amount of $25,904,762.58. Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes, I just want to say to the CFO, can you provide me the list of the streets that Montana did for the emergency sewer laterals? Thank you. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilwoman Davila, Councilman Jackson.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Is he-
Before I vote, Madam Clerk, I'm going to need a favor, please. Can you please provide, and I know you sent it through email, so I can quickly do a search. All the requests that I've made to the BA since the BA has been here. I'm very clear, and Council President, the BA stated that I did not ask for a report from the PRC, which I'm very positive I did, which funded not only that, but also this soccer initiative, and all of the money that was spent on the former business incubator now turned to the communication center. Additionally, my concern is, to Councilman Velez's point, what could we possibly be buying from Amazon? What is a municipality buying from Amazon? I can't see somebody going online and ordering something that's, I'm sorry?
Yes.
Very common. So, yeah. So I would like to see the purchase orders list from Amazon, and everything that we purchase from Amazon, and how that those bills are being paid. This is part of the reason why I'm extremely reluctant to support any of the bills list, to have allocated an additional $1 million to this facility where we spent over $20+ million on already, and I think that's a short number. Madam Clerk, obviously I cannot support this. My vote is no.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Mendez. Yes, Councilman Mendez, yes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I think that, I still going over the same question that I asked on page 101, on the second phase of the budget. On the description line, you see outside service, you see road resurfacing, whatever the money is allocated for. I see the first allocation for recreation center, moving to the dispatch project for $111,149. The second recreation center description of $1,254,422. I remember that we received $2 million for a recreation center. I'm very concerned with this. I'm going to need all the information as possible, because we're talking about $1.3 million that we're moving from this description into this project, and we still don't know how much money we have spent in total in this project. It's extremely concerning to me. We all know how much we need a rec center in the city of Paterson. We all know how important is recreation for our children, building a safe place for our children to play sport and exercise. So, and I cannot see that money being shifted to another project if we have the opportunity to continue bringing money to the city to build that rec center that we all want. So I cannot support this payment bill. My vote is no, Madam Clerk. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Omar?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I just want the same list, Mr. CFO, as Councilman Khan requested. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Newton?
My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilman Velez?
Well, the list of Amazon is listed here, all Christmas items for the celebration of Christmas in the city of Paterson from Amazon. I think we have a lot of local stores that could sell all those items. And I believe, I don't know if the state legislator through District 35 is allocating money for the future recreation center. No? They're not lobbying for that? Councilwoman? No? Oh, okay. But just in case, the state will help us one on next year. Some tax credit, probably. Payment of bills, yes.
Thank you. Council President.
You called me?
You said yes, yes.
So, Councilmember Velez, so let me be clear. Our Congresswoman Nellie Poe advocated for $2 million,
Yeah,
but it was for a shovel-ready, her and Senator Wimberly, shovel-ready project. This council voted on that. That money is connected to the partnership with NJCDC.
Correct.
That rec center will be built by this year, towards the end of this year. We're looking forward to our first recreational center, which will be on 52 Front Street. We added some language to that, the MOU, which talks about our seniors having first rights and having the ability to have their special programs, their meeting space there, and also partnerships with our schools, so our students are able to go in and have different opportunities to go in to have workspace, activities, and so forth and so on. That's a part of the language for our first rec center, so I'm super excited. I believe the rec center cost about $14 million, I believe the number is, and that could be either off a little bit or over, but I'm excited that that $2 million was put towards that shovel-ready project. With that being stated, to the public, our agenda is over. After I vote on the public, on this, we'll open up public portion where we have 4 speakers. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you. The votes are 5 in favor, 2 against, 2 absent. Payment of bills is adopted.
Thank you. To our public, it's time for public portion. Public portion is set to 3 minutes. There is a timer that is on, so I'm asking as we do our best to keep the quorum on this side, right, Mr. Keys, that I ask on the other side that we do the same. Tonight has been great. There's a lot of things going on in the community. The list is out, is always out an hour plus before, and we make copies of it. We kept it out till about 7:26 to make copies. She brought it to me. We watched. No one was here by 7:35. It was even sitting on the in front of the ledge, right in front of Mr. Oliveris, right, Mr. Oliveris on tonight. So it moved around a little bit, but we want to hear from the public. Madam Clerk, we have 4 speakers. Can we please set the timer? First speaker, Mr. Joel Keys.
Please state your name.
Testing. Tonight, I speak to honor 2 towering figures in the struggle for community self-determination.
Can we please, Councilman Velez, can we please reset his time? Please don't interrupt the public, Councilman Velez.
You got 4 people here. Now you have 5. Go ahead.
All right. Tonight, I speak to honor 2 towering figures in the struggle for community self-determination, Charles and Inez Barron. In Brooklyn's East New York, they did not bend to speculation or surrender to displacement. They asserted community control in negotiations with developers and demanded that development serve the people who built the neighborhood, not those who arrived to profit from it. They were not traditional politicians. They were elected activists. They understood that public office is not a seat of comfort, but a platform for struggle. They were unapologetic in advancing black power politics rooted in self-determination, economic justice, and collective empowerment. They warned us that black and Latino faces in high places do not automatically mean black or Latino power or black or Latino progress. Too often it simply places a black or Latino face on policies that continue that same exploitation, policies that fuel gentrification while communities applaud representation. That warning echoes powerfully here in Paterson. In Man-Child in the Promised Land, Claude Brown describes watching his father defer to a lawyer he believed must be brilliant simply because he was a Jew. Brown saw what his father could not. The lawyer was not on their side. He was fortunate. Brown wrote bitterly, quote, "Anybody could see that this cat wasn't so smart. No, he was lucky. Lucky that the world had dumb niggas in it like Dad, unquote. The tragedy was not ignorance alone, it was misplaced faith in someone who did not represent their interests. Tonight, I draw that analogy carefully but clearly. The mayor and 8 council members celebrated the Garden State Growth Zone outcomes as progressive. But progressive for whom? Like Brown's father, they, or was it we the people who were hoodwinked by a master manipulator? They treated developers and centers as if they were guarantees for tenants. Meanwhile, Councilman Jackson stood alone in opposing participation in the Growth Zone program, recognizing that beautification without affordability is displacement by another name. Like the barons in Brooklyn, he insists that power must be used in defense of the people. Across this country, as Charles Barron reminds us, gentrification runs rampant in cities led by Black and Latino officials. Representation without resistance becomes accommodation, and accommodation produces demographic erasure. The question was not whether development would come. The question was whether you would fight to ensure our people remain when it did. There's no affordable housing and people are losing their homes. So no, you didn't fight for the people to remain. Congratulations, keep celebrating.
Thank you, Mr. Keys. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Chris Small. Please state your name and address. Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Good night, Council
evening.
President, Council members, Council Secretary, and everyone else. Once again, I'm Christopher Small. I'm an educator, I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I'm an accountant, and I'm an advocate for the youth in the city of Paterson. And I'm here tonight in all 5 capacities. But before I say anything else, I'd like to first and foremost thank everyone that went out in November 2025 and voted for me for Paterson Board of Ed Commissioner. And everyone that's been asking and wondering, yes, I will definitely be running again November 2026. So I look forward to your continued support. You're more than welcome to stop by my office on 80 Ward Street so I can thank you in person and so we can talk about the 2026 campaign. And also, I am owner of a tax office, so you can bring your W-2 and your 1099 and 1098 and other tax documents down, and I can help you electronically file your tax return. Once again, ASW Financial, located at 80 Ward Street, or you give me a call at 862-371-2404. Also, you can check out our commercial on YouTube. Type in Small World Max Tax Refund for more details. You can also check out us on TikTok and IG. But enough about me and my business. I'm here tonight to talk about the Prosper program at Passaic County Community College as it aims to support Hispanic and other minority students in earning a bachelor's degree through partnerships and funding and internships. The Prosper program at PCC is a vital initiative aimed at empowering students from diverse backgrounds to achieve their academic and professional goals through affordable education and practical experience. And I'd just like to shout out the first 2 recipients of the ASW Financial Prosper program, and that is Christopher Colon and Nayeli Ramirez. They've been working with my tax office for the past few months, helping me with the intake process and administrative duties. So I know a few of my clients have asked me, who is that calling? That would be the interns that are working with me. There are students at Passaic County College now, part of the 3+1 program, meaning they'll do their 3rd year, their junior year at Passaic County College, then transfer to Ramapo College to finish their degree and graduate. And I also, before I get out of here, like to shout out the Young Adults Achieving program. Tamika Davis is the founder of that. We'll be heading down to 5 HBCUs in April 8th to April 10th. We'll be having a fundraiser March 29th, hip hop bingo karaoke. So please support. You can go on the site to find more information about how you can support. It'll be taking place March 29th, Athena Veterans Post in Clifton, New Jersey. And also, I'd like to thank Wega Teens and Coach Magazine at Eastside High School for helping me organize some students to make it to that trip. And I'm looking forward to being a chaperone and helping to continue to push and support the students of Paterson towards their educational goals. Thank you. Have a good night.
Great job, Mr. Smalls. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, next speaker is Zanaya Edwin. State your name and address, please.
Zanaya Edwin. Thank you for hearing me today. So I'm going to address 2 issues. Firstly, I would just like to make a statement on nepotism. I believe nepotism is often viewed negatively, but it is important to approach the issue with balance and clarity. Hiring or appointing individuals who have personal or familial connections is not intentionally improper if the individuals selected are fully qualified, competent, and capable of performing their duties with integrity. What ultimately matters to the public is fairness, transparency, and equal treatment under the law. If those hired, regardless of their relationship, carry out their responsibilities impartially, follow established policies, and serve the community without favoritism or abuse of authority, then public trust can be still maintained. The key standard should not be personal connection alone, but whether decisions are made ethically, qualifications are met, and the public is treated justly. Accountability, oversight, and transparency must always remain in place to ensure that any appointment serves the interests of the community first and foremost. So with that being said, I would like to address an issue that I've recently been having with the Paterson Police Department, and I'm not sure if you all were made aware, but I did make it public. So I did email it to the district attorney after the meeting that they had yesterday in the 4th Ward, and I just want to let you guys know that I believe it was in the best interest of myself and the community to make it public. The situation had a serious impact on me and my family, and I believe it raises broader concerns about accountability, transparency, integrity, and public trust within our community. My purpose tonight is not to create conflict, but to ask for clarity and action. I'm nervous, so it's hard for me to speak. When situations like this occur, the way that they are handled sends a message to the public about fairness, responsibility, and whether residents can feel confident that their concerns will be taken seriously and that their lives matter. I respectfully ask the council that you review the circumstances surrounding the incident, ensure that all the appropriate policies are followed, policies and procedures, and support any necessary investigation to determine whether corrective action is warranted. I also ask that you consider whether policy changes or oversight measures are needed to prevent something similar from happening again. Our community depends on trust between residents and local government. Transparency and accountability are not personal attacks. They are the foundation of a good governance. I am asking for your leadership in ensuring that the matter is handled thoroughly and fairly. I ask that you keep the public informed about the steps taken so that confidence in our local institutions can be maintained and restored where necessary. I am sure I am not the first to encounter a situation of this magnitude, maybe the first to speak up about it. Secondly, I would also like to address a matter where within the court system, I remember earlier you did say that you all don't have the power to go into the court system and make changes, but I would like to ask that you respectfully pay attention to serious concerns regarding prolonged delays and procedural issues with the Paterson Municipal and Superior Court of New Jersey. Since 2022, my attorney, Gerard Nisavachia, has been working to have my case heard regarding a lawsuit I filed against Broadshire Insurance Group after I was injured in a motor vehicle accident on May 2nd, 2022. Despite our consistent efforts, the case has been repeatedly adjourned for nearly 4 years. I fully understand that the court faces scheduling pressures and heavy caseloads. However, a delay of this length without resolution has caused significant hardships and raised serious concerns about fairness, access to justice, and procedural transparency. In light of most recent experiences, what I've been through with the police that have reopened my concerns, I respectfully ask that you all review whether there are systematic issues contributing to excessive delays in court proceedings, ensure that residents can receive timely and impartial access to judicial processes, advocate for transparency and accountability when procedural irregularities may exist, and also support any appropriate oversight or inquiry necessary to restore public confidence. Again, my intention is not to accuse without evidence, but to ask for responsible review and leadership. When cases remain unresolved for years, it undermines trust in the system and leaves residents feeling unheard and unprotected, especially me. I am simply seeking a fair opportunity to have my case heard and decided on its merits. I respectfully request that the council look into these matters to ensure that justice is administered efficiently, transparently, and without unnecessary delay.
Thank you. I'm going to ask Corporation Counsel if you could just get information from her. He'll come and talk to you, okay? Last speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. Excuse me. The last speaker is Eddie Olivares. Please state your name.
Eddie Olivares,
Yes.
Paterson New Jersey. I guess I should start by congratulating you. I guess tonight you become official, Mr. Golobec. I hope I'm pronouncing it next week. Well, either way, I congratulate you, but I speak for the people of Paterson, and I tell you that I hope that you prove us wrong. It's not that we have little expectancy from you. We have zero expectancy. I hope you prove us wrong and to show us that indeed you do work for the people of Paterson. I want to move on to Alex Spencer. He's not here. Mr. Jackson, you got competition. You got Alex Mendez, resolution supporting reimbursement of towing charges imposed during the recent snow emergency. For years and years and years, you've been fighting on behalf of these people, and all it takes is a campaign season, and all of a sudden, he's competing with you now. Anyway, finally, I want to talk about Joel Ramirez. And people of Paterson, listen to me. This is the problem that we have here in the city of Paterson. Joel Ramirez, the director of public health, comes here and says that homelessness does not fall under the umbrella, I'm paraphrasing, of public health. People of Paterson, this is ignorance at its best. And I'll go further. Drug addiction falls under public health. Prostitution falls under public health. Rapes fall under public health. Trash on the streets, public health. I can go on and on and on and on. And here we have the director of public health telling us that public health has nothing to do with these issues. And you know who's to blame for that? People of Paterson, listen to me. It's because we keep on doing the same thing. These people are to blame. If we keep this administration, guess what they're going to do? We have Davila, Mims, Udin. We have these people telling us that they're going to keep on doing the same exact thing that we have been doing for decades. And somehow, that's going to make the city better. Look in the mirror, people of Paterson. Don't look to your left or to your right looking for the culprit. Look in the mirror. The image in the mirror is the culprit. It's us. Because we keep on voting for these people. We have this election coming up. The only person that is presenting us with a sound plan to change the city of Paterson in a different direction, to fix the city of Paterson is Councilman Jackson. That's why I am asking for his support. We have over here Luis Velez looking at me like, just a couple of years ago, you had a big fight with the mayor. He got your wife a job in the city and everything was fine. Now, a couple of weeks ago, you were fighting with him again. And I don't know what he offered now, but now you're in bed together again. So I guess he offered you something in exchange for his support. Thank you, people.
Thank you. Motion to close.
Of course.
Moved by Councilman Velez, second. Councilman Omar. Roll call to close the public portion, Madam Clerk.
Roll call to close the public portion. Councilwoman Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I just want to say to all that came out tonight to speak on the public portion, thank you for coming out, voicing some of your concerns. I just want to say also that I want to wish also a good friend of mine that I've known for over 40 years is Dr. Fulmore. He celebrated 80 years. He was the assistant superintendent, I believe, back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Also, I just want to say congratulations to a good friend of mine, Pastor Janelle York. She will be celebrating 10 years of pastoral anniversary this coming weekend coming up. There's a lot that has been said, and there's a lot that more can be said, but with that being said, Madam Clerk, my vote is yes to close out the public portion.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Jackson.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So to the young lady who came to speak before us, I'm not aware of the incident that you spoke about. You didn't give many details, so maybe I can be provided with it. But I will say this, relative to you stating that you were nervous, you did an absolutely phenomenal job presenting your position, extremely articulate. Quite frankly, you would serve this community much better eventually sitting on this side, because you presented yourself in a much more professional fashion than some of the people who sit in these seats do. So I take my hat off to you. But I would like to know what the incident was. I'm not aware of what happened, but you will have my support, especially if you were mistreated. And if not, I will do the best that I can to educate you on whether or not the circumstances were fitting or not. I'm not sure what they are, but I would love to speak with you after we conclude. Relative to the public, you know, it's obvious. We watch what happens here every night in and night out. We watch council members change their position. You know, the positions that we take is very critical, not just during election season, not just on 1 week when it's one particular item, but night in and night out. If you're not going to be responsible on spending all the time, to be responsible on spending on one particular item doesn't really help us much, because by that time they've ran away with the bank. And in the case of the business incubator, there's been so much money that's been spent there. And I've been asking for council support over the last 8 to 9 years, if not longer. The PRC has squandered millions and millions of dollars. We have spent, and in fact, I think it might have been over 2 or 3 years ago, where I went on a tour of that building, and yet the mayor just did a press conference the other day, or he did a video over there the other day, showing its progress. There's been zero progress made. There's still no drywall on the walls. The building hasn't been wired specifically. If the director of public safety is coming forward saying he's going to come back at a later time to outline what specific electronic devices are needed, how can you wire a building if you don't know what electronics are going to be needed? You have to know, well, we need Cat 6 in this wall, we need Cat 5 over here, we're going to need additional power. You're going to have to know these details well before you finish construction. It just talks about how backwards we are working. And I'm reminding those members of the public, remember, I've been very consistent on these matters from as far back as the $1.4 million on the trailer park that we spent on trailers, where everybody has come back and said, oh, you know, Councilman Jackson, you were right, but yet we continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. And it's not mistakes, it's intentional. So just as a recap, you know, those council members not willing to support the measure to prohibit developers to charge residents of parking, but yet want to draft legislation on parking that may or may not have been done illegally. So I'm not going to labor very long, Madam Clerk. I appreciate the opportunity. Elections do have consequences, and we will have an opportunity to take our community and move it into a completely different direction. One where we can deprivatize government, bring garbage collection in home, bring road resurfacing back home, create a true garbage transfer station in our community. As the third largest city in the state of New Jersey, we don't need to be outsourcing these types of services. We need to bring these services home, create more jobs. This administration has created 0 jobs. In fact, every single member of his cabinet, I think with the exception of one, do not reside in the city of Paterson. According to our city code, the employees of the community are required to be bona fide residents of the city of Paterson. These people don't live here. They don't give a damn about you. They don't care how your money is being spent. They do not care about the city. It's for an opportunity for them, and it's very clear. And the fact that the council does not stand firm on it. And before you leave out the door, Council President, I just wanted to make one note. I did not notice the item for the contract for the fire department on the agenda. It's going to be on regular next week, you're saying? Because it wasn't on, we never discussed it tonight. We never discussed it tonight. There was a meeting last night with Council President, Councilman Udine, Councilwoman Davila all promised those members of the fire department brass that that item was going to be on the agenda for a vote. It was apparently negotiated and approved by DCA. So I'm very curious on why the council has not taken action on such items. And, we didn't discuss it. It was not on the agenda, so I want to make note of that. But Madam Clerk, my vote is yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Mendez?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First of all, let me say thanks to all the residents of the city of Paterson for just coming into the chamber and express their concern. And I'm always say that in order for you to be an effective legislator, you have to learn how to work with people, how to work with everybody. And that's something that I haven't. I'm willing to sit down with any person to find a solution for the problem that's affecting our community. And I've been very effective at that. But today, I introduced the resolution. This resolution is just a reflection of what happened on that storm. They used the storm to take advantage of the resident. I never see so many people getting their car towed. And even the director of the police department was talking about that. Even the director of the police department specified that they should have a plan. They should remove the snow and put it outside in an empty lot, and just make sure that people have a place to park. That was not the case. The administration never had a plan, and they decided to start towing cars without giving notice to the people, and hundreds of people lost their car just because of that. I bring this legislation because we have a lot of people suffering in our community. We have people one paycheck away from being homeless. And the legislation, it speaks for itself. In the last 4 whereas, it say the towing fees impose hardship on many, with some of those affected stations that have not received specific actual notice on when the vehicle have to be moved. And we're talking about legitimate people that got their car towing. And that's something that I cannot stay quiet about that. I cannot. Something that I will do during the storm, I will put a plan together. Before the storm, I will inform the community and educate the resident how we're gonna do it, which street we're gonna clean. I will use a street cleaning schedule to remove the snow during the day, not at nighttime. We have people that have 1, 2, and a part-time job, plus a part-time job. They go home at 10, 11 o'clock at night. How are they gonna be able to see a sign? In some places, I visit those spots that the car were towing, and there was no sign on those sections. There was a lot of discrepancy on the plan. There was no plan at all. There was no plan at all. Every street in Paterson was one-way street because of the amount of snow. Every street in Paterson. So there was no plan at all, and I've specified how things should be done in the future. I'm looking forward to have this resolution on regular on the next meeting. It's something that it will definitely, people deserve. People deserve that. People really deserve that. We're going through a lot in the city of Paterson. In another note, we have a company that came to do a revow, and out of 23,000 property, over 11,000 property receive a revow without the person going inside the property. Those property were assessed as a high number based on market value. I was not aware about that. A responsible mayor would call this entity, this council, and say, listen, something is happening. Let's fix the problem, and let's go back to the table. Let's fix the problem, and let's go back there and let's get the job done right. Those companies, they will get paid, but without doing the job properly. And I could speak about my personal experience. My property, the assessment was wrong. My taxes went out from $9,800 to $14,600, $5,000 increase. And I'm not the only one. There's so many residents that the taxes went out $5,000, $4,000. And on the situation that we are right now, people are struggling. This situation is going to push people out of the city. High taxes and high rent are pushing people out. And how much a homeowner will increase the rent? It's almost impossible to be a homeowner in the city of Paterson. So my recommendation to all the residents is to take action. Don't stay quiet, please. The appeal, you have until May 1st to do the appeal on the assessment. You could go online. You could go to NJ Tax Appeal and fill it out, Form 8-1. With that Form 8-1, you will fill it up and we'll send it to the county. You don't have to do any comparable until you go to court. So you got to take action now. We have until May 1st. because that's gonna push a lot of people out of Paterson. If we sold 1,200 liens on the last lien tax sale, we're gonna sell over 5,000 liens, because when we have all those people that have no money to pay their bill, that's what happened. You get a lien on your property, and you will have the chance to lose your property. You are at risk to lose your property. After 2 years, they could do a foreclosure on any property that has a lien. So that's been pushing people out of the city. But we could fight back. We need to fight back, Paterson. We're not getting services, and we pay such a high taxes and high rent that it's heartbreaking what I see. People that live in a fixed income, single family, two family, people that are depending on that little money that they get from the retirement plan and getting hit by $3,000 increases on their taxes, not including the county, the school, local, and open space. What are we talking about? We're really pushing people out of the city, Paterson. We really are. It's really time for change. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Omar?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'll be very brief. I think it's easy to take a jab at someone when they're not in the room. So that's one thing. But another thing is I just want to thank Director Ramirez for all the hard work he's done. He truly does go above and beyond. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Councilman Udine?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First of all, thank you to all the public that showed up to the council meeting and made your voice heard. Thank you for joining. Those who are watching us, thank you for staying engaged. So we heard everyone's concern, and one of the items that I need to talk, Councilman Jackson mentioned about yesterday's public forum with firefighters. I want to again restate that strengthening, supporting public safety department is one of my major thing that I started from the very beginning. And I think no other council members was against of any items from public safety departments. And when we sat down with the firefighters, and again, before I even stated about the MOA that's in place, and we are looking forward to seeing the next regular council meeting, we have to state the work they put into it every day. Our firefighters put their lives in line to save our lives, save our residents and their properties. So we have to make sure that we serve them well. But there was a lot of lack of communication or understanding. It was falling apart, but I'm pretty sure that yesterday's meeting was very fruitful, I would say. We ended up in a very nice way. The present council members, we all promised that this is going to be in regular meeting, which is upcoming Tuesday. As chair of the public safety promised that she's going to discuss this item on Friday's committee. And again, I'm not in the committee. However, I definitely will check Friday's agenda to make sure that's the item on the agenda. We'd like to make sure that we are voting on the item. So it is coming for sure, fire officers. So we are, and I'm talking about myself, I'm fully in support, and we're looking forward to this. Again, public, thank you for joining us, and my vote is yes to close the public portion.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Velez?
Thank you, Council President. I know we close in the public portion, but there's some comments made that have to be addressed in front of the public portion, and because if not, people stay what they hear, and it's not fair for us. It's not fair for us that we correct sometimes the individual that comes here and without facts. And I sympathize with the young lady that came down here and expressed her concern. I took notes. My office is open. My secretary's here sitting, and you could address, come her and ask her for anything that comes. Rush to the office if I need to talk to you, okay? And now I'll give you my phone number when we finish. But I just want to put the record clear. There is 16? Oh my God. Is anybody hiding under the table? You know, that they want to run? But there's 14 councilmen at large. 16, sorry. And I always say that, I've been saying this to the residents of Paterson, when you see people to utilize this podium to slander, to accuse without facts, to mock or make fun of us or the work that we do, I tell the resident they're not stupid, they're not naive. If you think that the resident, the voter, the serious voter that we have in Paterson are going to vote you in, you're wasting your time. You are wasting your time. Because if the 3 minutes that you be using, instead of bringing concept, plan, and comfort message for residents could say that we are doing it wrong and change us, then it's beneficial. But when you come to that podium, and I respect your freedom of speech, but it's wasting of time when you don't bring concept to the podium. And the resident of Paterson is tired. You think they're watching? They turn off the TV sometimes because they know that people come here without facts, pointing fingers without facts. I have to keep this clear. I've been sitting here since 2016. I don't care what they do to me. I don't care they slander. I don't care if they accuse me. But one thing I could say is that I could sleep and go to bed and rest in peace. You know why? Because I know whoever put me here beside the voters was somebody higher than the people that comes and criticize me. And I trust the work that he told me to do with the community. So those that are speculating why I am working, why I talk to the mayor, or I talk to the BA, or I talk to my enemy, or I talk to this guy, or I talk to the other, listen, I don't hold grudges. There is a community in the 5th Ward that voted for me to deliver to them. And we have to understand that we are the legislative body of this city, that we need to work with the people that put the resources to the people on the street. We could have differential problems with my colleagues. I could love them today and tomorrow I could hate them. I don't hate nobody, but we need to work together. And when it comes up to the needs of the community, I'm colorblind. I don't hold grudges, and I raise my sleeve and work for the benefit of those that vote us into the office. I always say it, and I stated in February 10, and I'm going to continue saying, no storm, snow, tornado, or any storm comes with instructions. We had to create our own plan. We had to sit down and talk, leave our egos on the side and our power on the side and say, let's unite to work together. In the last snowstorm, the mayor did call the council to meet at the OEM office, and we set a plan, and we gave our ideas, and we move it forward. I could have discrepancy with the mayor. I probably don't like his jokes, but when it comes to benefit the residents of Paterson, no jokes aside, we have to work together. So saying that, last but not least, I want to set the record clear. We do not authorize a reevaluation of the property that was mandated by the task court and the county towards us in 2014, I believe so. The only thing that we do is hire the company that is going to do that kind of reevaluation of the property in City Pass. Last Council President, Mr. BA, Corporate Counsel, I know I had this conversation with you regarding, and you told me the right thing, and I like that because communication is there. And I say we don't need to do a resolution for that, but I requesting through the chair, if it's possible, the administration could call the reevaluation company to come and explain to council what kind of formula they use to evaluate this property, reevaluate this property, what kind of formula they use. Because, for example, I cannot believe that a two-family house in Paterson is more expensive than a two-family house in Wayne. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe a two-family house in Paterson is more expensive, a reval higher, than a house in Clifton. So if they could come and explain us what kind of formula they use to reval those property, it will be beneficial, Council President. I know it's not your idea, I'm giving it out, but just in case, just because we get the calls, right, Council President? What method they use? So at least they're not telling you, they're not telling you, they're not telling me, they're telling the residents what formula they use, and probably there's a legal part on it that they could go after them. So simple. And probably this could be clarified before the end of the appeal process that the city has. So the rate is one thing, the value of your property is another thing, but I would like to know what methodology they use, what formula they use to say this house in Paterson worth $1 million and the one in Wayne that had more land, more quality of life is less. I just want to say that. You took the note, Mr. BA? You took the request about the company to come and explain what was the formula they used to reval the property. And those 14,000 property that they had the chance to go in, why? To explain us why they cannot perform the reval. And it's a fair question to be clarified and transparent of the process of the reevaluation. Last but not least, thank you, Madam Clerk. I know you was listening to me. Thank you.
Councilman, the floor.
Closing the public portion. I'll come back in the closing. My vote is yes to close.
So to Madam Clerk and to Madam Clerk, when we are in voting, the timer should be set. I've stated it in the past. I will put it on the record again. The timer should be set to 2 minutes for the council members. When it's time to vote, it is time to vote. There's no extra extended conversation. There's no asking additional questions. There's no rebuttal or there is no response. So after we close our public portion, for final comments, there is 2 minutes, and beyond that, they continue to talk. We go on to the next person because the agenda has been over an hour ago. 2-minute timer, everything should have been said at this point. To all of our speakers that have come, that are in person and watching, thank you so much, as I state every week. To Ms. Edwin, I believe is your name. I'm not sure what the details of your concerns. I believe this is my first time ever seeing or meeting you. And I know Corporation Counsel took your information, but I commend you for coming in regards to whatever the situation or the scenario is. But make sure, reach out, get some advice, reach out to Northeast Legal Services as well, if that's an additional resource or reference where they can give you help at no cost at all. If that's going to help the situation, I'm not sure what are the circumstances, because you have not given it to us as a council, so we don't know what they are. But I want to commend you for even coming forth to speak out. To the statement that was made in regards to the MOA for the fire department, it is correct. It will be on the agenda next week. The email was already sent out, but like we stated last night, it will have to be seen in 2 committees. which will be worked on. Friday is Public Safety Committee. It will be finalized for Finance Committee, and it will be on the agenda. Madam Clerk, which I already sent the email, as she's aware, the email was sent for it to be on for vote on Tuesday. So I don't have to be, see, I don't play election politics where it's reiterated. I think she said, I assume it's going to be on. If I say it's going to be on the agenda, it's on the agenda. They could play politics. I do people. Totally different. Madam Clerk, with that being stated, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Council President. The votes are 7 in favor, 2 absent. The public portion is now closed.
Is there a motion to close the meeting, workshop meeting Tuesday, March 3rd, 6:30? Moved by Councilman Mendez, second by Council President Mims. Roll call, 2-minute limitation for all council members. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Roll call to close the regular meeting.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I just want to say that I also have a property in my house, and I think that
Madam Clerk.
I think that I want to say to my council colleague, you should have asked the reval company to come back in to inspect the properties. Now you're having them to go before a tax appeal. They should have asked the reval company to come back in, or to come back to inspect their property to see if they're going to change the value of it. They did not come in my house the first time. I brought them in my house the second time to let them know that I don't have a walk-in closet in my bedroom. I don't have a wet bar in my basement. For them to value my house at that, you know, I wanted them to see what I actually had in my house. The reval company wanted to come back in your house. They wanted to do that, to see what the value is. Now, if I can suggest to everyone, go on the website of the reval company. You have to hit the link that says property value, or you can hit the link that says property taxes, and you can take your entire block that you live in, and you can see the entire value of everybody's property in your block. And you can see what they value each and every house. And then you can also be able to see each taxes that each property pays yearly. So I just want to bring that to your attention. And for you, I would say call the reval company and ask them to come back in to do an inspection to reval your house. Because more likely it probably would come down. I'm not sure. With that being said, thank you to all that came out. I want to say to the young lady, she was at our meeting last night. She was at our meeting last night, our listening session with the police, Attorney General, with our Chief of Police, and with our OIC, and I'm not sure if she spoke with anyone there, but she did come out, and I told her to reach out, but I'm going to reach out to you too to see if they're going to be able to reach out to you too, because I know you gave them some information at the listening session last night at school number 6. With that being said, everyone, God bless you all. You all have a good night. To my council colleagues, to my Madam Clerk, my Secretary, my BA, all have a good night. God bless you. Any questions you need about the revals and stuff, I'm happy to tell you how to really go about getting it done. With that being said, God bless you. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
My vote is yes.
Councilman Mendez.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Just quick before my vote, Paterson. What really happened with this revolve situation was that those over 11,000 properties that were not assessed, that were assessed without the person going inside the property, we never received that information. The administration never took action to resolve the problem, never called the company back to the table to fix the problem and go back and do a proper assessment. Now, the time window was gone. The deadline was on the 23rd. February 23rd was the last day for people to call the company to do an assessment, a new assessment. Now, you have to get into, you could go online and go to NJ Tax Appeal and fill it out the Form A1. You don't have to do any comparable until a week before they in court, but you have until May 1st for you to go online, get the application on paper, fill it up, and submit it. And it's the Form 481. If you have any questions, you could reach out to me at 973-930-1436. That's what needs to take place, but that was a lack of leadership. If we know that this problem is happening, we could fix the problem. There was an opportunity to fix the problem before this is happening. Now, this is reality. We're not playing politics with this. You have people like my property went out $5,000 at one shot. I submitted my application. It was almost impossible. The appraisal was inaccurate. The assessed value that they did, it was wrong. Because what they're doing, they're assessing property based on market value, and they're not going inside the property. So encouraging everybody to take action before May 1st, because that's going to push a lot of people out of the city. A responsible mayor will call the company back into the table and let's say, what is the problem? Whether it's the lack of information, misinformation, let's fix it, and let's go back to protect our homeowner, because the whole idea is to protect our homeowners, because honestly, we have people living this town every single day. That's the whole purpose of that. And now we passed the deadline. Now we got to go through tax appeal, but we need to fight back, because when you get hit with $3,000, $2,000 in taxes, your salary doesn't increase. They don't raise your salary and you at work, or those people that live on fixed income, they don't get more money. You're getting less and less money, and we pay more and more bills. You got more taxes, and that's not included. That's only the municipal portion, the 2.261. That's not including the county, school, and open space. And that's what we face in Paterson. Lack of leadership at all time. May 1st is your deadline, Paterson. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Madam Clerk, thank you so very much. Council President. Item 38, I know it's on regular. I think there is no need to have more, we don't need to have more discussion. That's the right thing to do for our residents, for our community. We have to think about with our heart what Paterson residents are going through. It's really tough. I invite people just to go out there, just get into the neighborhood, talk to people, and you will see how people are struggling. We have people with 2 jobs, and they still have to go to the food pantry. Look at those lines at the food pantry, Paterson.
Councilman, 2-minute limitation.
Every food pantry. That's not because they want to.
Thank you, Councilman.
That's not because they want to, Paterson. People are suffering here. God bless you, Paterson. Let's pray for our city. Madam Clerk, thank you to our police department. Thank you for being here with us. Our VA, our Corporation Council, thank you. My Councilor Kali, good night. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Omar.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I just want to say I look forward to seeing everyone here tomorrow at City Hall for our iftar, and I'm also extending the invite for Monday, March 9th at School 9. I, along with our Mayor, Assemblyman Abdelaziz, Board of Ed Commissioner President Joel Ramirez, are hosting a community iftar at School 9, Monday, March 9th at 6 p.m. I hope to see you all there. With that being said, good night, everyone. Mr. BA, thank you. Corporation Council, thank you. To our council colleagues, thank you. To our public safety, our law enforcement, thank you. My vote is yes. Good night, Paterson.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Newton.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So before I vote, I would like to one more time restate what I have stated in the last council meeting regarding the assessment. And Mr. BA, I think we need more clarification on it. Why am I saying it? Because what's happening right now among the homeowners is creating more confusions. Confusion in the sense that the current assessment is showing the property value is kind of near to double, more than double. I would say that is very alarming. It shows that last year's assessment was something not right, whether with the last year's assessment or this year's assessment, right? With that calculation. Now, people are concerned not about the number it shows right here. They are very concerned about the tax rate. They're concerned what would happen if the tax rate changes. And I feel it's important for the administration, and I would say I think can step up on this, to call the assessor, whoever is doing it, to move forward, come here and clarify the process, the methodology they're using to assess the properties, and also what would be the outcome if the tax calculation changes anywhere. I think that needs to be clarified. One thing is, when we are advising people that make phone calls to revisit or review your assessment, In many cases, they are not responding calls. And one or two times, two residents confirmed me they responded call, and they said they can do a video call visit or they can come. I think they gave two options. So the point is, how many, if that happens, 2 out of 10 residents got response back from the vendor. Then
Thank you,
how-
Councilman.
what would
2-minute
happen?
limitation.
Ma'am,
2-minute
this is important.
limitation.
Yes, it's not a requirement for me to complete 2 minutes.
No,
So,
2-minute limitation.
So the important
per Robert
part
Orders
is,
of Rules, 2-minute limitation, Councilman. Everyone else has abided by a 2-minute limitation.
this is important to be clarified.
I understand,
Because that
but
confusion,
Councilman, there is a
that
2-minute
confusion
limitation.
is,
2-minute limitation,
Council
Councilman.
President, this is very important to finish
I
it.
understand,
And when
but
you
there
are,
is a 2-minute limitation per Robert Orders of Rules. I
So-
stated it beforehand.
so this is very important, Mr. VA. The reason is, sometimes we are using our own way of explanation, which even creating more confusion to the community members. So, Mr. BA, we want to see that you are stepping up on this, whether you're bringing the assessor here and clarify the process.
2-minute
And
limitation,
also, you have to
Councilman.
clarify what would happen if the
Two-
tax
2 minute.
calculation or the percentage changes anywhere.
Thank you,
I'm looking
Councilman.
forward to
2-minute
your
limitation.
step into it. Thank you, Council President. I think we all have to have opportunity to clarify the thoughts, Council President. I understand that it's over
Thank
2
you,
minutes,
Councilman.
but you cannot just block me just on 2 minutes, not finishing my thoughts.
Thank
So
you.
again, we respect you, and I think
Yes.
we need to keep respecting
thank you,
each other.
Councilman.
Thank you, Council President.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your vote is? I'm sorry. Are you finished?
My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Council President?
No, Councilman Velez.
I'm sorry, Councilman Velez. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Yes.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I got 2 minutes, but I'm going to try to keep it in the most important topic that we had now,
Thank you, Councilman.
the revaluation of the properties. So, Mr. BA, we had a conversation. You're going to make it possible. I know that, but who's going to be benefiting this conversation is both the administration, the council, and the resident getting educated in the process. Paterson has approximately 30,000 property, a little bit more, 30,000 properties between residential, commercial, et cetera. I want to know how 14,000 property would not reval. It could be, and this revaluation of property, it didn't happen a week or a month ago. This is since last year they've been reevaluating the property. If every councilman that received calls when they was receiving the letter instruct them the right way, probably they're going to see a notice that their property probably went down. Around approximately 7,000 property, the value of the property went down. Nobody talk about that. So what we need to know is the formula they use, how they use it, why they didn't went into that property, and you'll be surprised how many people received the letter, did not make the appointment to get access to the house to get the proper revaluation. So now we're in the middle of this. Now we could orientate them, like Councilman Mendez say, you could appeal your taxes. He's a realtor, he know how to do it. He's telling you where to go. Just do it. Sitting back and not taking action is not beneficial. But yes, we want to know what formula they use. It's fair enough to say that Elmo Park property is less than Paterson property. Saying that, good night, stay safe. My vote is yes to close today's meeting.
Thank you, Councilman. Council President?
Thank you. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Patterson, let's stay safe, let's stay healthy. Let's make sure our children continue to be blessed. To everyone here, Read Across America has been going on. Please take the time not just to read to your children, but understand that reading is fundamental. Madam Clerk, with that being stated, my vote is yes.
Thank you. The votes are 6 in favor, 3 absent. The regular meeting, the workshop session of March 3rd, 2026 is hereby adjourned.
Good night, Paterson.